gavel here at home. This is the January 14th Board of Directors meeting. So this is our first meeting of 2022. I hope everyone had a great holidays and a happy new year. Before we start our meeting, I'd like to ask our interpreter to introduce himself and walk through how to access our translation services. So Carlos, go ahead.
Good morning and thank you, Chair Blakespear. As the chair just indicated, we do have interpretation available. I will begin with the instructions in Spanish and I will be back with the instructions for our English speakers. Muy buenos días y bienvenidos, bienvenidas a esta sesión de la mesa directiva de Sanda correspondiente al 14 de enero 2022. Se está ofreciendo servicio de interpretación simultánea. Para hacer uso del mismo, por favor desplácese a la parte inferior de la pantalla de Zoom, donde aparecen sus controles. Haga clic en el icono de interpretación, parece un globo terráqueo, y seleccione Spanish o español. Si está utilizando la aplicación móvil de Zoom en celular, tableta, etcétera, presione primero los puntos suspensivos, luego interpretación y luego el idioma. Si no desea escuchar el audio original en inglés en el fondo, por favor seleccione Mute Original Audio o silenciar audio original. Hello, once again, stated interpretation is being provided to and from Spanish. As there may be some comments from the public in Spanish, we invite English speakers to also take advantage of the service. To do so, please scroll down to the bottom of the Zoom screen where your meeting controls are. Click on the interpretation icon, it looks like a little world, and then select English as your language. If you are joining through the Zoom mobile app on cell phone, tablet, or other mobile devices, please press the ellipsis, the three dots, then interpretation, and then choose your language. Finally, click on Mute Original Audio to not hear the original Spanish low in the background. Gracias, and thank you, Chair.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So I invite you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. So now I want to welcome a brand new board member. So La Mesa has done their appointments and Council Member Baber is the new board member from La Mesa and Council Member Shu is going to be the alternate now. So welcome back.
Welcome back. Thank you.
You were on the board before, Council Member, so we're happy to have you back.
Happy to be back. Thank you.
And then we have a number of alternates who are here today, but I'm not going to call them all out by name, but welcome to the alternates. So first, we're going to start with non-agenda public comments. So we'll take our non-agenda member comments at the end of today's agenda. Do we have non-agenda public comments, Francesca?
Yes, Chair, I do see several hands up. I see, let's see, 5 at the moment. First will be Mike Bullock, who will be followed by Eric Christian. Mike, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much. Honorable Board, well, congratulations. The RTP that you approved back in December was a fantastic improvement over the past RTPs that you've done. It recognizes the fact of induced traffic demand, and it did not try to blur the lines on how you can achieve SB 375 reductions, greenhouse gas reductions. It recognized in that regard that the plan must reduce driving. You can't take credit for electrification. So that was great in those ways. Now, it is disappointing that you did make a change to the regional transportation plan right after you approved it regarding the road use charge. However, thanks to the amendment to the motion that was offered by Councilman Jack Shu, I hope that damage is minimized and that you can recognize that error and fix that problem and make sure that the staff there at Sandag is doing their job regarding that road use charge, because we really need that to happen as soon as possible. And it needs to replace the very evil, as I call it, the gas tax. It needs to replace the state gas tax with the state road use charge because of all the advantages that it would offer. Now, the 2025 RTP, you've started on that cycle now, and it needs to take another giant step forward from what you just accomplished. And that is, it must conform to a plan showing how cars are showing actually a set of enforceable measures to cause cars to achieve our first climate stabilization target, which, as I've explained, is in 2030. And COP26 was all about 2030, and 2030 is our big challenge. As I've said, human survival requires climate stabilization, and cars are such a huge part of that problem. And you need to recognize that and make sure that your plan conforms to a set of enforceable measures that will do the job. Because make no mistake, the opposite of human survival is enormous human suffering. All right, so we're all human beings, we're all empathetic. No one wants that. That's a shared value. And we're running out of time. And so this next regional transportation plan, and I think the board needs to give that direction. You know, you're so fortunate that you have an executive director, which is so out of the ordinary, because generally, you know, the general, the top management of bureaucracies like to drag their feet, and you don't have that. You have something much better, and you need to do your job and provide that direction to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Eric Christian, who will be followed by John Stahl. Eric, you can go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Eric Christian. I'm the Executive Director of the Coalition for Fair Employment and Construction. We're a San Diego-based statewide organization that was formed 23 years ago to fight for the rights of working men and women in the construction unions that don't happen to be unionized. A reminder that at your last board meeting, when this board narrowly approved a project labor agreement for all future work, you voted to implicitly and explicitly discriminate against the 90% of the young men and women in our county that wake up on a daily basis and choose to work in a union-free environment. In doing so, you automatically guaranteed a 10 to 20, 30% increase in the cost of any of your projects due to the reduction in bidders that will automatically follow, because contractors just simply will not subject their workers to having money taken out of their paychecks sent to union health, welfare, and pension plans that they'll never vest in, more than $20 per hour it averages out to, and have that money stolen from them. So they simply won't bid your work. We told you that would be a cost, but there are already costs that you're accumulating as of this morning at your 8 a.m. executive committee meeting, where you voted to approve on item number 3, a $300,000 allocation from your contingency budget to help implement the community benefit agreement. So already, just an hour ago, you've taken $300,000 that could have been used for God knows what else, something useful, and chosen to use it for something that was completely unnecessary, but for the demands of big labor special interests who demanded a project labor agreement on all their future work. We're going to continue to hold you accountable for the outrageous and bigoted vote that was taken at your last meeting that sought to have a PLA placed on all future work. We're going to work aggressively to defeat any tax measure where you seek to take the funds from workers you're discriminated against and use it to build projects they can't work on, and point out just what it is the PLA is costing you, as we are doing right now, based on a vote that you took just an hour ago, where you took $300,000 out of your contingency budget, something that you would not have had to do if you had simply gone on with the way that you currently do business, which is to allow all workers, all contractors, all apprentices to work on your project free of discrimination, free of being forced to join groups they don't want to join, and free of having wage theft undertaken. So congratulations, it's already costing you, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, and we'll make sure to point it out every step of the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is John Stahl, who will be followed by Catherine Rhodes.
Good morning, I'm John Stahl. I live in Del Mar, and I'm speaking with you today to urge you to get in the fight to not only save a regional asset, but a national treasure. North County Transit District is holding a vote next Thursday on January 20th to approve fencing off the entire upper bluff in Del Mar, and additionally adding fencing at the track level for 1.7 miles that will eliminate beach and recreational access to the million-plus visitors from around San Diego and the world that come to Del Mar every year to enjoy the beach, the birds, the scenic views, and the sunsets. Using North County Transit District's own data, one can easily see that the issues are from Coast Boulevard to only 0.2 of a mile south of that crossing. Any fencing south of there is merely bureaucratic overreach. Drilling 2,000 fence post holes that are 3 feet deep and filled with concrete will not only allow more water intrusion into an already fragile bluff. This makes absolutely no common sense. This is what miners do when they're trying to break open a piece of granite. The Coastal Commission issued a letter to Sandag dated January 5th that calls the North County Transit Plan disjointed and inefficient. The letter goes on to say that the North County Transit Plan has the potential to result in significant adverse impacts to both coastal access and recreation. The Coastal Commission letter adds that the North County Transportation Transit District's plan, stabilization plan, will prevent the natural erosion processes that nourish the beaches. Lastly, the letter states that proposed improvements and or fencing would significantly disrupt or eliminate pedestrian access on existing and formal access trails along the bluffs and down onto the beach that have been heavily used by the public for decades to traverse the bluff top, enjoy scenic coastal views, and access the beach and ocean. Together, these projects could have very significant impacts to existing and historic public coastal access and recreation. I'm calling on you to influence anyone who sits on the North County Transit District Board and have them vote no, or at least postpone on this ill-conceived fencing plan on January 20th. Thank you all for your time and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Catherine Rhodes, who will be followed by Ula Rang.
Hello, this is Catherine Rhodes. And a way to implement your new regional plan and fund your central mobility hub without a tax increase or a public vote for future tax increase, something you could pretty much do immediately, is for San Diego International Airport to annex additional port tidelands east of the existing airport all the way to the train tracks. This would include Pacific Highway and port tidelands. In December 2020, Sandag staff said that they had different alternatives that they were looking for the central mobility hub. And the one they said was the superior alternative in their report would be to locate it at the existing port headquarters on the east side of Pacific Highway, adjacent the train tracks in the trolley. And so again, a way to fund your central mobility hub and to be allowed to use 100% of the normally restricted airport revenue would be for the airport authority to annex the land from the airport east to the train tracks. And then it would be considered airport property and you could use all the funding. And this could all be done without state legislation or state legislation. This could be done through maybe a joint powers authority just with Sandag and the airport, the city and the port, all get together and say, this is what you guys want to do. And you want to be able to use the airport revenue on that. So that is my request that you guys look into that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Our fifth and final public speaker will be Ula Rang. Chair Blakespeare, I do see some additional hands up, so if we could provide an opportunity at the end of the agenda as it states in the paragraph, I think there are others who would like to speak as well.
Okay, let's do that at the end of the meeting, yes.
Ula, you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
So you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Dear Sandag, I'm a very concerned California citizen. On January 20, NCTD will vote on whether they should forego the Coastal Act and go after sole decision-making power over the bluff and beach of Del Mar, and against the rules of the Coastal Act and the wishes of Del Mar, install a 1.7 mile long ecologically and geologically destructive fence. This is not only about Del Mar. This is about NCTD not ever having to go through California Coastal Commission again, whose mission it is to protect our coastline, therefore the Coastal Act. If NCTD never again has to negotiate with any city on whose land the NCTD has laid their tracks, there'll be no more protection of public access, no more environmental or geological reports. There will be no more negotiation about heights or placement of fences nor construction. They will get free reins. Please stand up for the Coastal Act and do everything you can to influence the NCTD board to vote no on January 20, or at the very least, postpone the vote until an environmental and geotechnical impact report has been performed. The few accidents that have happened in Del Mar have taken place at around Coast Boulevard at the crossover and 2 blocks south. That's where we need a fence, not along the whole 1.7-mile bluff. Please, I beg you, advise the NCTD board members to vote no on January 20 or postpone the vote until all impact reports are in. Do this for the sake of all of California and to protect the Coastal Act. Don't be the ones killing the Coastal Act and approving NCTD to become the dictators of our coast. From the bottom of my heart, please do this, and thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you, and Chair, that does conclude the first 5 public commenters.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for your public comments, and we will take the rest of the public comments at the end of the meeting. So with that, let's go to our CEO report. So Hassan, do you have a brief CEO report?
Yes, I do, Chair. Thank you very much. And good morning to all of you. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope that you're all able to spend time with your families, friends over the holidays, and that you're staying safe and healthy. It continues to be unprecedented times. I remain proud of our agency and how we have adapted to changing conditions and continue to serve the San Diego region. We have sent all of you the 2021 annual report. And today I will take a few moments to highlight that report because it's really important that you see that. But before I go there, I also I told you in the meeting, the last meeting in December, that we had significant senior leadership departures, retirements. Both the 2 senior leadership persons, Jim Lithicum and Ray Traynor, after 4 decades of public service, many decades to this agency, and amazing careers, they retired. Was not a surprise. We knew about that. We were expecting that. So in the coming weeks, I will be informing you of how this agency moves forward. With restructuring, I'll be talking to the leadership on the 21st, be sending you an email informing you. Want to make sure this agency is positioned to move forward and move forward in an amazing way. You know, my staff know this, that I am a historical junkie, I call myself. I love quotes. And so I want to share with you a quote by Maya Angelou that says, I quote, "To make a difference is not a matter of accident, a matter of casual occurrences of tides. People choose to make a difference." And I believe you and us at Sandag, we choose to make a difference on behalf of the 3.3 million San Diegans. It was a busy year last year. We advertised 2 projects, began construction on 3 projects, and completed 6 projects. Some of our biggest expenditure last year included $211 million on the Mid-Coast, the final year of the Mid-Coast, $118 million in the North Coast, and the North Corridor, $35 million on the State Route 11 Otay Mesa 2, and $24 million on the bike program. I am proud of what we have been able to accomplish and even more excited for what's to come. This board started last year by having a very real and very important conversation about the role that Sandag plays in advancing equity. I am proud of this board by not only having a statement or passing a statement in January, unanimously passing an equity statement in January, but following that with action. I'm grateful for all of you that voted to start a free youth pilot that's going to start in a couple of months, where we offer 18 and younger free transit passes. We also were able to look at certain places where 24-hour services does not exist and make it exist, some improvement to stations. That pilot again will start in March, but thank you for making that happen. As most of you, the majority of the board member were celebrating with 8,500 of our community members at the mid-coast, the $2.17 billion project, the largest infrastructure transportation project in San Diego's history, was completed, started construction in 2016, completed just last November, on time, on budget, and our leadership, Chair Blakespear, Vice Chair Mary Gloria, second Vice Chair Sutala Sayes will tell you it was an amazing celebration with the community, with our federal partners, state partners. That mid-coast now is on operation. We brought $1 billion from the federal government. I want to say, in addition to Chair Blakespear, Mary Gloria, Mayor Sutala Sayes, 9 additional board members were there to celebrate with us. Thank you for being there. It's an amazing project. And this shows that this region can deliver a major infrastructure project on time, on budget. And that is just a teaser for what to come. The following month, the board adopted the 5 big moves, the regional plan. We received nearly 17,000 comments from the public during the development of the plan. We created an amazing public policy debate around important issues. We showed that the region, the state, and the nation, that a data-driven approach is a good approach to planning. And we have set the San Diego region for a visionary path. It's not cheap, not easy, but needed, and offers opportunities for our region. We also made great progress on many of our Bikeway projects. Mayor Ritter was part of one of the first virtual opening for the Inland Rail trail this year. We advertised for construction of the Bayshore to Bikeway and Persian bikeways. And in the next few months, we plan to open the Georgia Meade, Landis, and 4th and 5th Bikeway project. I am grateful for Mary Gloria, Council President Eli Rivera, and all of the council members in San Diego and the staff of the city of San Diego. We are moving in a partnership that we have not seen for a long time, and that's why we're making progress. And we are continuing to move the bike program forward. Mayor Hall joined us a few months ago with the Caltrans director to break ground on 4 miles of new carpool HOV lanes along the North Coast Corridor. We also received an award for San Elijo Lagoon Restoration Project. Just celebrated the groundbreaking of the San Diego Lagoon Restoration Project in Del Mar, and are scheduled to complete a new bike and pedestrian bridge in April. During the summer of 2021, crew completed construction of the I-805 corridor enhancement project, which included 5 new sound wall segments, as well as bridge and safety improvements at the Sweetwater River Bridge. And in June 2021, Mayor Sutala Sayes, Supervisor Vargas, and the Chair Blakespear, joined us and Caltrans to celebrate the project completion. As you can see, we're multimodal and we're busy delivering for San Diego, and we'll continue to do the same. During the summer, the construction of the bus on shoulder project was completed. This project allows South Bay Rapid Transit buses to use the freeway shoulder to increase reliability and reduce travel times. This is a first for vehicle to infrastructure technology in the San Diego region. In November 2021, Sandag released a request for innovative concepts. We plan to pick 3 bidders to put innovative concepts in how we connect our residents throughout the region. This is an amazing opportunity to deploy future technologies into transportation. Mayor Minto, I know you would like this. ARJUS continues to serve as a critical forum for our regional law enforcement agencies, and our Christmas Justice Division continues to provide timely information to the region to help inform our public safety. These are accomplishments that you did, and these are amazing accomplishments. We brought more federal and state money than any time before. But much of the work still to come and needs to continue. Two things I would like the board, just not to go any longer, like the board to pay attention to. We checked the mark in two of our priorities. That's passing the 5 big moves, completing the mid-coast. We have 3 other priorities that now become on the top of the list. One is Otay Mesa 2. As I was speaking to Mayor Gloria about his coming trip to Washington, this project is at the stage where binding agreements need to be taking place, commitment from our national government to provide operation for the facility is there, our work with our partners in Mexico. You heard today at the executive committee from Hector about our ambassador to Mexico City was here just before the holidays and will be coming back here February 14th, hopefully for some signing of agreements. Our 2 senators, Senator Alex Padilla and Senator Feinstein, and all congressional members from both parties, Republicans and Democrats, have signed a letter that asks the federal government to put in the budget, in the Homeland Security budget, funding for this project. We are still on schedule to open this facility by September 2024. This is an amazing project in many aspects, but economically, binational region, Baja California and our region are linked, and we'll hope and will continue to work toward a September 2024 opening. We also made clear that the Los Angeles corridor is one of those priorities that rose to the top of the list. We're in the design of the Bluff 5 to stabilize it, and we're also in the final stages of the study to recommend alternatives to move the track off the bluff. I know Councilmember Castro knows we are moving as quickly as we can to make sure we accomplish these goals and keep this corridor working for our residents, for our nation, for our state, but also preserving the beautiful beaches and access to those beaches. And the third priority that rose to the top is a central mobility hub and a rail to the airport. As you heard from our staff last month, we are looking at 3 different places to build these hubs. We are in the environmental stage, and as I told you, we want to open Otay Mesa to September 24. I also would love to see this region have at least cut ground on a central mobility hub by 2024. As you can see, exciting opportunities coming up. And finally, I would say to all of you, I want to thank you on behalf of my staff for your leadership. These are tough decisions you made to get us here, but this agency is doing amazing things and will continue to do so. Chair Blakespear, that concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. I see we have 2 board members with their hands up, but I want to call on the public first. So let's take public comments on the CEO report, and then we'll take the board comments. Do we have any public comments on that?
Thank you, Chair. We do have one hand up from the public. Mike Bullock, you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah, thank you, Mike Bullock, Motion Side. As always, a fantastic report from your executive director. I wanted to comment a little bit about the social equity and the Youth Opportunity Pass. I do support that. However, we should recognize it's age discrimination. And the reason I support it anyway is because, it's funded and you can go forward with it, but we need to understand that we could do much better. We have good technology. And I pointed out before the part of the California Democratic Party plank, which states that it supports good systems to operate transit and roads and parking that protects low income. And so the idea that transit needs to be free to everybody, I'm not sure that that is the right thing to do. That seems to be your long-term goal here. But I think that means-based makes a lot of sense. And for most people, it probably should be free. I wonder why, wealthy people shouldn't pay some money. And now you're talking about a system which can differentiate. In terms of equity, one of the most important things you could do in the short run is you could unbundle the cost of car parking at apartment complexes and at employment centers. And that would be certainly an innovative concept. You would have that designed by a third party. You do an RFP process on that. And the car parking system would be value priced with congestion pricing there. And the money would go to the people that are losing money because the parking is being provided. In the short run, you could just at an apartment complex unbundle that cost. I mean, people are having trouble putting food on the table. We all believe that social equity is the right thing to do, but I think we're all very wealthy and we don't understand that people are suffering. And consider a person with 3 kids but no cars. And their next door neighbor is renting the exact same unit, no kids, 5 cars. They pay the same rent. They don't, the person that's parking 5 cars at that apartment complex pays no more rent. And the person, the parent who's cannot put food on the table is paying too much rent because they don't own a car. This is an emergency situation. This should be addressed immediately. And car parking, of all types, we have a very, very bad system. And so I think a lot of what's said that brought that inequity to mind. So those are my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. That does conclude the public commenters.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Hall.
Yes, I would like to thank that really was a good report, including the slides. One of the things I think you didn't take credit for, and I really appreciate it, is all the media that Sandag is putting out, whether it's on social media or however. I mean, we're telling our story in many, many different ways. One of the exciting things that's happened as we tell our story, obviously, we as representatives start to get questions. So one of the questions that has popped up quite a bit in the last 30, 40 days is about bikes and our bike plan. And in a recent report, we noted that over 50% of the new bikeways was going to be within the city of San Diego. Could you please address that, Hassan, and how and why? I know there's methodology behind that, but I get a lot of questions why we're not doing more bike paths, in my case, in the northern part of the county.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate your comment very much and Happy New Year. Mayor, as you know, the money that was designated for the bike program is really limited. It's 2% of the total, it's about $200 million, and there's not much left in that account. We absolutely need to do bike programs in every part of the county. And we have done some, but not enough money for our big counties to do. So I look forward to a discussion we're gonna have with this board about getting resources to actually do more bike programs, not only in the city of San Diego, but somewhere else. And I also wanna say the city of San Diego is providing its own funding to supplement the regional funding. But I welcome a discussion where love to do it in your city, Mayor, and I love to talk about partnership and potential funding either nationally or from the state or locally. But you're absolutely right. We want to do it countywide. There is transportation doesn't know any borders, air quality doesn't know any borders. So we're looking at this countywide, and I look forward to the discussion in the future.
And just one of the things, and I'm probably being selfish here, but you've said in partnership with the city of San Diego, and the city of San Diego has been putting in funds. And I know that's in most cases, that's how the project works. It might be advantageous that when we do this, we give other cities, Sandag in conjunction with the city of San Diego. So people don't think it's just all Sandag money going into any one entity. So, and I appreciate that. And I will say the social media and the media that's taking place in and around San Diego today is really unbelievable on how you're telling your story.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's actually a high compliment from Carlsbad, because they do a great job with their story too. As their neighbor city who watches them, I think you do a really good job of that. So that's a high compliment for you, Mayor Jones.
Thank you so much. I actually concur with the social media. I think Sandag's done a great job. I don't know if it's ads or whatever, but it's literally always popping up on my phone whenever I log into my social media. Anyway, I have a couple of questions. The first one is on November 10th, when we approved the RTP, the item number 3 was to find alternatives so that we could eliminate the road user charge, because that was part of the earlier action of the RTP. So my question is, when will we be seeing that back?
Yes, Mayor Jones, we absolutely, my job and my team's job is to implement your direction, and you're going to see it back. This is more than a simple task. We're going to have to analyze. We're going to have to consult with our approving partners at the state and federal level, but you will see it back in the coming months for sure. And I don't mean many more months, but once the work is done, and I will be updating you on this in every report I make from now until it's back.
Okay, great. That would be very helpful. And then I ran into a staff member recently of Sandag, and they mentioned to me that there was discussion of COVID-19 mandates for vaccinations and boosters. And I'm just wondering, what would the recent Supreme Court, so actually my first question is, was that something, who decided that? That it could be moved?
Yeah, so we already have a vaccination policy that we passed a long time ago, actually last October. And that requires all employees of Sandag to be fully vaccinated. And if not, they have to submit for either a religious or medical exemptions. So we passed that policy. It's already been adopted, and I think I informed this board about it. Just happy to report to you that 98.6% of our staff are fully vaccinated. We had 6 exemptions, 2 religious, actually 2 medical, and 4 religious that were granted. And now we revised the policy to define fully vaccinating, meaning with a booster. So the policy is there already, been in place for a few months.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we are absolutely not going to force people that might have medical issues to have a vaccination, because I feel like that would open us up for liability, especially after what just happened with the Supreme Court ruling. I feel like there's got to be something there. Okay, well, I would like to make sure that we're updated on this as far as what would happen with the Supreme Court ruling and how that would affect the organization. I certainly don't want anyone to be in an unsafe medical situation or something that goes against our religious values. So I just want to make sure that we are definitely doing that. And I think that's it. Anyway, thank you and a Happy New Year. Really appreciate all that you do. And I know you work very hard, Hassan. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Dedina.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I just wanted to acknowledge the great work that Hassan and Sandag staff and this board has done really in shifting U.S.-Mexico foreign policy, U.S. foreign policy towards Mexico, the great success that has been the policy framework and planning for Otay 2. That helped us with also the planning framework and the announcement of a comprehensive plan for the border sewage crisis, which is just ongoing. You can see that in the San Diego Union Tribune and the Voice of San Diego today. But that really is to the testament to this region's real strong focus on a proactive California, Baja, US, Mexico, San Diego, Tijuana infrastructure investment program. And all the climate activists and infrastructure activists and Green New Deal activists, let's acknowledge that the biggest emissions reductions we're going to get for any single projects will be, especially in methane when it comes to border sewage, and then emissions, especially with the noxious fumes coming from diesel trucks, is due to the great work we're going to do in reducing those huge border lines where diesel trucks are emitting emissions for hours when they're in line. So great work on that. We've got to push Mexico to get their work done. We still obviously got to build the border sewage infrastructure, but we're talking over $1 billion of Green New Deal, putting American workers, union workers to work on the United States side of the board, building great infrastructure, reducing emissions. And for us, improving the quality of life to make sure kids don't get sick from asthma when it's just living next to the border. And then our folks in South County to get sick just from going to the beach or breathing the fumes. And the number one methane emissions that you have in any urban environment, probably in the United States, are from sewage. And we've got 12 million gallons a day right now flowing through the Tijuana River. So that's going to be a great, when we get that project built, it'll really have a huge impact on meeting our greenhouse gas emissions. And that's really important. So congratulations again, Hassan and Sandag. You're doing international diplomacy work for a regional transportation agency, and that is to be commended. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Gasterlin.
Yes, thank you. Very briefly, I just want to say thank you to Hassan and thank you to the Sandag board for the continued attention to the Del Mar Bluffs in the context of the Losan corridor, which is so important to the economy of our Southern California area. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I may, Chair Blakespeare, I promised 2 more minutes to Mayor Dedina's point. Thank you, Mayor Dedina, for the comments. When the ambassador, our U.S. ambassador, came here just before the holidays, the 2 points I made with him in riding to Otay Mesa 2 is really the Tijuana River pollution issue and the Otay Mesa 2. And I want you to know that I have never seen a better commitment to moving these 2 issues forward from our federal government. So I look forward, and I want to thank you for your leadership in that regard. I did want to thank both Supervisor Anderson and Lasser Rimmer, because this last year we partnered with the county and we are installing 18 miles of broadband to reach the rural communities. And that is positions Sandag to be actually the best place in the country to compete for both the state and federal money. I also want you to pay attention to, I think last month, Supervisor Rimmer talked about housing and housing subcommittee that will have its first meeting on February 1st. Pay attention to this, because this is going to be a multi-million-dollar program. And we all know about the housing crisis that we have in California, and particularly in San Diego. I look forward to designing an incentive program for all our cities and the county to participate. And I want to thank Supervisor Rimmer for not only leading this, but for encouraging us to partner, put our resources together, and move this county forward when it comes to housing. I've been, just to conclude, I've been here 3 years and 1 month. and it's been busy, but I am really grateful for you allowing me the opportunity with my team to put forth everything we can to move this region forward, and we'll continue to do the same. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you, Hassan. Thank you for all the hard work last year and the great report today. It's nice to hear positive comments from board members, so I appreciate that too. So next we have our consent. So I'm going to pull item number 5. Mayor Voss would like to pull that item. And then I'm going to pull and talk about item number 8, which is continuation of teleconference meetings. So I would entertain a motion on the balance.
Sorry, Chair Blakespear, could
Yes.
we also, item number 4, please?
Yes, item number 4 is approval of contract award for Bayshore Bikeway. So we'll pull that one too.
Move the balance of the consent agenda, Chair.
Second.
If I'd like to pull item 4 too. I have a question on item 4.
Okay, that's pulled in. We'll call on you when we go to that item. So I think we have Vice Chair Gloria with a motion and then Mayor Vasquez with a second.
Thank you very much. For the city of Carlsbad, Mayor Hall.
Aye.
For the city of Chula Vista, Mayor Salas. I'm going to come back to the city of Chula Vista. For the city of Coronado, Councilmember Sankey.
Sankey, yes.
Thank you. For the county of San Diego, Supervisor Lawson Reamer.
Aye.
Thank you. For the city of Del Mar, Councilmember Gasterland.
Aye.
Thank you. For the city of El Cajon, Councilmember Goebel.
Aye.
Thank you. For the city of Encinitas, Chair Blakespear.
Aye.
The city of Escondido is absent. For the city of Imperial Beach, Mayor Dedina.
Dedina, aye.
Thank you. For the city of La Mesa, Councilmember Baber.
Aye.
For the city of Lemon Grove, Mayor Vasquez.
Aye.
For the city of National City, Second Vice Chair Sotelo Solis.
Hello, Solis, aye.
Thank you. For the city of Oceanside, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yes.
Thank you. For the city of Poway, Mayor Voss.
Aye.
Thank you. For the city of San Diego, Vice Chair Gloria.
Aye.
Thank you. For the city of San Marcos, Mayor Jones.
Aye.
Thank you. For the city of Santee, Councilmember Koval.
Aye.
For the city of Solana Beach, Mayor Hebner.
Aye.
For the city of Vista, Mayor Ritter.
Aye.
Thank you. And for the city of Chula Vista, Mayor Salas. Apologies. Let me just take a moment and see if Mayor Salas has an alternate on the line. The city of Chula Vista appears to be absent. And so that item does pass with those members present.
Okay, thank you. So let's go in order for the consent items that were pulled. So we'll start with item number 4, approval of contract award for Bayshore Bikeway. And Mayor Jones, would you like to go first?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. So I had a couple of questions. This is 2.3 miles of bike lanes. And I asked for detail on Wednesday, which I got at 10 o'clock last night, which I haven't been able to go through all of it. It's pretty lengthy. But I was trying to figure out why it's $8.263 million per mile. So that's really expensive. And then I was trying to figure out also if it's in the early action bike plan. Sorry. Oh, I don't even think I can get that with my background. Anyway, I was looking at that and I pulled that up online. I was able to find that, but it doesn't show whether it is part of the early action bike plan. And I'm wondering, and maybe staff could actually answer this question. The early action bike plan that we approved in October of 2018, it shows almost everything in San Diego. And I'm curious, because this is Transnet money, I'm curious if it follows the same 30-70 kind of allocation for North County versus San Diego, Southern County. I'm wondering if it does anything about that. Like, does it follow that? It's very unclear as to how to figure that out.
Let me have Sharon Humphrey, our Director of Capital Program, or her team address this question, Mayor Jones.
Good morning, everyone. Sharon Humphreys here. We do prioritize our projects based on the early action program that was reviewed and approved by the board. The projects are prioritized based on ridership and also on the connections to regional transportation and connections between the population and the job locations. So we are following the early action plan. The Barrio Logan project is a portion of the Bayshore Bikeway, and it is within the early action plan.
Okay, so that part I didn't understand the part of we were connecting it because people are going to use their cycles for work, because I feel like in my opinion in North County we're so far spread out, and a lot of our folks do tend to work downtown and in other parts of the county. It's just not viable for them to safely get to work, and plus it's pretty far because we are more spread out in North County. I think we should get an update on this as far as have staff give us some information. Sorry, I got rid of my background so you could see this. The early action plan, because it does show nearly all of the lanes in South County. And, you know, with North County being so spread out, maybe we should even have more money of that early action Transnet money invested in North County, because it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, our folks, like, I don't think they could actually get to work, but a lot of people come to North County to enjoy our terrain, which is very hilly in many cases, just to ride their bicycles for recreation. There's a lot of bike clubs here in North County. I have a lot of friends that actually ride in these clubs, and they're pretty serious about it. I know Chair Blakespear has a lot in her city. So anyway, I would like an update for the board on this and where we're at and how much is being allocated to North County specifically, so we can really figure out if this is equitable for North County.
We will do that, Mayor, and also just this one is part of the early action plan. But I also, just not to tamper the optimism, I told Mayor Hall, we're absolutely going to look at making sure that we have funding and resources to countywide to look at this. But I also want to remind all of you that the 2% that allocated through Transnet in the last month, I think you were presented, there's like $8 million remain in that account between now and 2048. So obviously resources become an issue. I have no doubt whatsoever that every part of the region need to be looked at and invested. I think a discussion in the future with you about amending or moving forward with an action plan. I mean, the action plan you adopted in 2013, we talked to you about it last year, and we're going to continue to talk about it. But funding becomes an issue, and where the money is going to become an issue.
And then back to my original comment of $8.263 million per mile. I think I did ask staff a few more questions, but again, getting it, and I'm not blaming them. I know that the information is hard to potentially get. I think moving forward, all of our bicycle projects, actually all of our projects should have better detail as to a city investment, B, Sandag investment, and then also what exactly is contained within that, because it's very difficult to understand why something costs $8.263 million per mile. And a lot of folks have asked me why, and this was back when I was talking about some bike lanes costing over $5 million. The $8.263 million is extremely expensive. And I just have to wonder, is there a possibility to doing it in a better way that's more efficient of our taxpayer dollars? Because these are, hardworking San Diego County residents that are paying for these. So anyway, greater detail. And then, one last thing, and I always ask my staff to do that, is can we please have a map with every single project that we are approving so that we can see exactly where that is located. I think it would be very helpful for all of us.
Will do.
Good morning, board members. Thank you for your questions. Mayor Jones, I'm happy to provide the answer as to why this project is costly. My name is Dinara Rusianova. I'm a senior systems engineer at Sandag and the project manager for Bayshore Bikeway Barrio Logan project. There are three main factors as to why bikeway projects are becoming costly: increased demand for construction projects, the increase in construction material costs, and the increase in the cost of labor. And I can elaborate on those at the end if you would like me to. But most importantly, unlike other bike projects, Bayshore Bikeway Barrio Logan project is both complex and unique as it's going through a multi-jurisdictional area. It is located in a heavy industrial and residential neighborhood of Barrio Logan. Sandag has to comply with state environmental regulations by properly disposing hazardous waste and materials whenever we excavate. The limits of the project bisect both MTS light rail and BNSF heavy rail, which means we have to do railroad and traffic signal modifications, which are costly. This is the first bikeway project at Sandag that crosses BNSF tracks. On top of that, we have to make sure that our construction crews are working safely whenever we are doing work in close proximity to both MTS and BNSF tracks. And we have to do extensive railroad flagging to make sure that our roadways are not impacted, and to ensure pedestrian safety. We have to do traffic control staging in order to remove the existing pedestrian bridges at 32nd Street, which are not ADA compliant. And that's an access near NASCO and Navy. Also, the existing narrow city right-of-way states that this project has to acquire additional expensive right-of-way in order to do traffic control, in order to do sidewalk features and drainage. Finally, extensive third-party coordination between BNSF, MTS, CPUC, NASCO, Navy, Port of San Diego, and City of San Diego are all contributing to the high cost of this project. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
So it would be helpful to find out, just, moving forward with bike projects, how much more is in labor? How much more are we paying in labor because of our recent action? I think that would be a very interesting thing to look at, because I mean, I don't know about you, but $8.263 million per mile is pretty pricey. And I worry about, how we're spending money. So money doesn't grow on trees the last time I looked. So anyway, we just need to be very cognizant of this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Hall.
Yeah, and I don't want to dive too deep, but is this one of those projects that's being done in conjunction with a city? And are they paying a share of it?
I can field that question. To the best of my knowledge, the city is not participating in the cost share on this project. We brought to the board mechanisms and proposals to how we're going to deliver the Bikeway program more cost effectively. We agree that the cost is high. These projects do involve ADA improvements, roadway resurfacing in areas that have suffered from economic justice and low investment in infrastructure. In the future, we will be partnering with the agencies within which we are constructing the projects to ensure that there is a fair and equitable cost share with the funding.
Yeah, and I just as a comment, and I'm probably echoing some of Mayor Jones's thoughts, but the last one was over $5 million a mile. It seemed to me that was more than just a bikeway improvement. We were basically rebuilding the whole street. And, it begs the question again, is the city that this is taking place in, are they putting in a share of their monies in order to do this? So the other thing is, it's like it was said, the money is we obviously need more money. Are there projects where you could get a bigger bang for your buck per mile than what we're doing here? So I think those are things we need to be looking at.
I agree. You make excellent points.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Anderson.
Thank you very much. When I read the board packet on the bike lanes, it mentioned that the supply chain was partially the issue of the higher pricing. Did we consider delaying this, or would there be any advantage to delaying it, hoping that after the supply chain issue's been repaired, that some of the cost of this would be reduced?
Thank you, Supervisor Anderson. And as you know, it's really complicated when you award the contract. If you stop and restart, that's a significant cost. That's probably would overrun the potential supply chain savings. So it's really difficult in this construction project to do that. There is a cost for everything, stopping work, because when you sign a contract with a contractor, you commit and they commit to their staffing. So yes, we looked at all options to minimize costs. We always do. And frankly, I am happy to report to you, and I've been in this business for many, many years. This agency does well when it comes to contracting and looking ways to save money. And we're going to continue to do that. I just want to say that yes, 8 million a mile is a lot of money, but for where this is and for the issues we have to deal with, and we're still dealing with, working with PNSF and working, I mean, every time you cross a track of the railroads, you have to have a deal with them. I think it's justifiable why it's that high. Yeah, the supply chain is an issue, but it's really be hard to stop a contract and restart, and the savings will be gone just because of that.
And I'd also like to add that we have a $5 million grant funding on this project, and we need to award the project by the end of the month in order to be able to utilize that $5 million funding. And I also did want to add that, excuse me, BNSF is contributing financially to this project, and that's a new partnership that we're very excited to continue to develop.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Lawson-Remer.
Sorry, just wanted to unmute. So first of all, I just want to say how excited I am about this particular project, the Barrio Logan project. I bike frequently, and actually I bike that route. So I have very personal experience. You know, I work at the county building, and sometimes early in the morning or late at night, I will try to get a workout in, and I will bike around the bay, all the way down across down through Barrio Logan, through IB, across the Bayshore, up Coronado, and then try to take the ferry across. And I'll tell you, I won't take my daughter on that bike ride. And the reason is because of the missing Barrio Logan connector. It's really, really dangerous. The rest of that bike pathway is absolutely beautiful. We've done an amazing job in Chula Vista, and the waterfront in Chula Vista, it's absolutely breathtaking. But we have a huge hole in bike accessibility in one of the neighborhoods that needs it the most, which is right there in Barrio Logan. So I'm just really excited for this project. I'm really excited to bring it forward. I think it such a necessary addition to our region in terms of creating accessibility and connecting communities and making San Diego a place that's really accessible and beautiful for not just residents, but also visitors. There's a lot of visitors who come here who would absolutely love to do that route that I brave bravely, but I think a lot of folks would not brave because of we haven't made those needed investments. So I think that there's going to be double, triple, quadruple returns economically to our tourism sector, in addition to just improving the quality of life of our residents and friends and neighbors who live in Barrio Logan. So I'm just so excited about this. I want to say sort of additionally, I am really excited about a lot of the comments of my colleagues in North County, who I think often we don't necessarily always see eye to eye. And I'm just really excited to hear the enthusiasm for bike lanes in North County. As you all know, I bike a lot. I live in Encinitas, and there is a vast need for bike investments across North County as well. And I'm just, I think this is just wonderful news to see all the enthusiasm and support for investments in bike lanes across our region. And I know that this is one of my big priorities. So if anyone wants to work with me on North County bike lanes, expanding bike lanes, making sure they're protected and connected and safe for children and families and people who want to commute and recreate across our region, please reach out, let me know. Let's do this. I think there's so much more we could do in terms of being a lot more ambitious for bike lanes to create, make San Diego, honestly, I think we have the best weather in the country. We should have the best protected and connected bike lanes in the country, reaching from Carlsbad to San Marcos, to Escondido, to Chula Vista, to, you know, all across our entire region. So hopefully we can make sure that this priority around bike lanes for our entire county and a really thoughtful and ambitious protected and connected bike vision for San Diego is reflected in our new budget. And I'm really looking forward to making that happen. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Councilmember Gasterlin.
Yes, I'll be brief. Tara answered a couple of my questions. And I want to say I took the Blue Line trolley with my e-bike all the way to the end and biked quite a bit down in the Chula Vista area. It was a really fun experience to do. And with a hole that's in Barrio Logan, this is an opportunity to fill in an area that is greatly needed. I'm glad to hear the BNSF participation in the crossings part of it. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in the not too distant future in Del Mar. And I would very much like to work on North County bike lanes with others. I would hope that Mayor Jones would join as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mayor Sotelo-Solis.
Well, buenos dias, colegas. Happy New Year, feliz año. I just want to echo my support for the staff's recommendation for the contract to award for the Bayshore Bikeway in Barrio Logan. As the neighbors to the south, we know there are many disconnects, and I agree with the protect and connect aspect of the bike lanes is very much needed, and it's been decades. And as we look back at our equity statement, it's about the needs that need to be met. At times it may be higher on the list to do, and at times it may bump lower. But if we really want to, personify and activate that equity statement, this is one quick and easy way. Yes, it is costly. As was mentioned, it has to cross train tracks. It has to go through industrial areas, and it's not just for the Barrio Logan community. We have to recognize it's a connector, it's a conduit throughout the region. And so that is our job as a board, to make that connection. And I'll say Barrio Logan community is very much deserving of having that fully funded. And I get it. Our role is to be fiscally prudent and to make sure that every dollar that we spend out the door comes back, with many more returns. And that's the goal of the connection of the Bayshore Bikeway, to make that connectivity. And you're damn right, this is where we need to invest. And I urge my colleagues to support the approval of the contract and move forward with item 4. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilmember Koval.
Yeah, hi, thank you. I don't disagree with the need to connect a bike trail and or bike path, bike lane. Even in East County, we ride bikes. Matter of fact, we have a mom and pop shop that just opened up here during the pandemic, and they made over $1 million in profits. So we bike in Santee as well, and La Mesa, and all those places, Lakeside. But I'm going to just comment on the funding. And I am on the Borders Committee. I represent East County. And so bike groups have spoken to us about their bike regional plan. And one of the things that we talked about, especially if it's going through a particular city, is that the city could or should invest some of their ARPA funds because these projects are so costly. So that's one thing that I think the SANDAG board should consider, is that the city that will benefit the most from this would use some of their ARPA funds. What we found when they were breaking ground on these bike lanes is that, you know, there were so many stormwater issues and things that they didn't know until they got in the ground, that drove the cost of the project up millions of dollars. So we have this other revenue source, and my recommendation is to look at that as a funding mechanism as well. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Goebel.
Thank you, Chair. A question on the funding itself. The Reyes contract, who is the winner, came in at 18.962 million. And that was 26% higher than the staff estimate of 15 million. So my question is that a guaranteed maximum price, or could this contract go even higher?
So I'll field that question. You know, as we know with construction, you know, it's not a guaranteed maximum price. So I'll be perfectly transparent about that. We have done an excellent job identifying potential risk on the project with regard to involvement with BNSF and the rail, and also with hazardous materials. So we feel that that's an appropriate and fair and equitable amount for the project. We do carry a 5 to 10% contingency for all contracts that we do to address unknowns.
26% is quite a spread between a staff estimate and the winning bid. Any ideas why it was so far apart?
I can, council member, maybe Sharon, you can add. Usually that spread will depend on the risk we think involved in the project. Remember, when we do contingencies after the project completion, if there is money left over, it can be reallocated somewhere else. But I think sometimes it's large as 26%, sometimes it's lower, but it's the risk in this project that made it that high.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
And one other, the additional thing I'd like to add is that we very closely track the Caltrans cost index, which shows the scaling changes in construction cost. And between 2016 and 2020, construction costs were increasing between about 1.5% and 5%. In the last year, construction cost increased over 13%. So not surprisingly associated with, we're all familiar with all of the cost increases in our lives with regard to food cost and energy cost, and construction is reflecting that as well.
So if I may, Chair Blakespear, and I am really grateful for this discussion, because like Supervisor Rimmer just indicated, we want this to be a county-wide, and we welcome not only your participation, but your active participation. I just want to alert you to two things. One is the national stimulus had more money for active transportation, and the state surplus budget that the governor just released has more money. So we are really positioned to do well. So I want to take this enthusiasm from all of you and translate it into, let us go and get grants. And just want you to know that, to Mayor Jones's earlier point, I think in this project, not all for Transnet, and Sharon, if you know, I think it's probably the least amount is Transnet. There's other sources of funding, but we can do a countywide program. We can connect the gaps, and I look forward to doing that. In this project, I'm really excited about, because I went to the area, and I think you gamble if you bike, like the supervisor indicated. So I look forward to working with all of you to figure out how we get more resources to do active transportation program countywide.
Yeah, in response to your question, Hassan, we pull in about, $2.50 for every local dollar that we invest in the Bikeway program.
Also, to add to that, as we mentioned in our report, we faced increased material costs due to the disruption of the global supply chain. And so when it takes about 6 months or 9 months as opposed to 2 months of getting materials, that contractors see that as a possible delay. And so they add, additional, they account for that risk. And also the fact that they see that, they have to coordinate with NASCO, because we have NASCO employees at 32nd Street, at 28th Street. We have Navy employees that we have to coordinate with at 28th Street crossing. And so all of the Port of San Diego coordination and the possible delays, contractors sees that as a huge risk on the project. And that's why we see increased costs. So, and we do go into details in the report explaining, yes, this project does bring a lot of, this project has a lot of reasons why it costs a lot, but it does bring tremendous benefit both to the region and the Barrio Logan community.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to round two, Mayor Jones, I just want to make a few comments of my own here. So I think it's really exciting that we're actually awarding a contract and breaking ground here. I know we're all in elected office, we want to do things, and this is something that's really substantial. 2.3 miles is a long distance. I think I want to recognize the legitimacy of the questions and the analysis around where this agency invests and why, because, with a board that has 19 jurisdictions on it with 21 board members, there is, in all honesty, a lot of focus on the city of San Diego. And we wear those multiple hats of being local electeds for our city, but also being regional leaders and looking at a transportation network. And there's also a reality that this county is half in the city of San Diego. So there's just a substantial resident base in this county that's based in the city of San Diego. And I think the city of San Diego also has had seems to have had the most change in terms of the way its city is approaching dealing with bike projects and sand egg projects and the collaboration that that is leading to the ability to do more faster for less money. But I just want to say that I think that this question of where we're investing and why, I think the staff report could do a little bit of a better job of that. And I just want to highlight that because the staff report, from my perspective, does do a good job of talking about why the costs are high, because it talks about, it's a class 1 bikeway, which is a protected bike lane. And it talks about this in very much in specifics about having basically rebuilding the roadway as Mayor Hall had talked about. So it's removing a steel span pedestrian bridge, removing concrete stairs, putting in water pollution, traffic control, erosion control. We know, I think as city leaders, that when we put in ADA and stormwater, and all of the things that are required with the street, it's really expensive. And we also know about the construction inflation and the supply chain issues. So to me, the staff report does a good job of saying those things. And I appreciate talking about them publicly as well. But the fact that this is in a heavy industrial area and we are dealing with having to take hazardous materials away. I mean, all of that just obviously adds to the cost. But I think we could do a little better job of saying, like, for example, as was brought out in the public comments today, that there is a state grant, which I don't see that mentioned in this report. There is a BNSF also participation financially in this project. And then also just in a more general sense, the reality of this agency's goals. So we have climate goals, we have equity goals. We know that we've had historic disinvestment in certain communities like this one, and that this is an opportunity for us to help reach those goals. And so when a project like this, which is a substantial amount of money and is in one jurisdiction only, if we talk about a staff report like this, having some of that data about filling the gaps of an existing network and this being a gap that is needed. We talk about the ridership numbers who are going to use this, because there's no question that there's a difference between recreational bike riders and the priority this agency should place on those riders versus. Hello, Chris Rodriguez. We love your music. But the difference between recreational riders and then either bike dependent or transit dependent and mode shift riders, what we're getting when it comes to our climate goals and our equity goals, I think we could fill out that picture a little bit more so that the value of this project was clear, not just when we talk about it at this public meeting, but also in the staff report. And then also, you know, we know we have limited money. And so projects that are actually shovel ready, that have gone through all the design and engineering, all the public outreach, the many years of difficulties that come through that whole process to get us to this door of being shovel ready and awarding the contract. I mean, that's another thing that I think is really important to remember when we're deciding to fund a project like this. So this is, I think this is exciting. I fully support it. And I hope that in the future, we can do those things, add a little more context around the project that we're funding. And also, as was mentioned, include the map, because it would be really useful for us to see on a map where this is and what it connects to, so that it's easier to place it for all the jurisdictions that, of course, do not represent this part of the county. So with that, I'll go ahead and call on Mayor Jones for a last comment.
Thanks. I just wanted to, sorry, I thought you were going to ask for a call on the vote. Anyway, so I think it would be important to have all the buy-in from all the financial contributors to this. I honestly, I don't know that I've ever had a project in my city that I haven't had to invest in as far as the city goes. So anyway, I think that's really important because we should all have buy-in. And I think, you know, if it's going to benefit us for our roads or whatever, there's got to be some sort of financial participation. And I think an important thing too is I want to make sure that our agency is looked after, and we are making sure that we are not being taken advantage of by our contractors. So I think having an audit on these bike lanes that are costing, you know, over $8 million per mile, I think that would be prudent to do as well. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound terse about this, but I honestly haven't seen anything from our auditor for quite a while. And I'm just wondering what's going on. So I'd like to hear what's going on with her work product as well, and find out that we're actually utilizing her, because that is part of what AB 805 was asking for, that we would audit these, our programs, to make sure that we're spending taxpayer money wisely. So I'd like to see what she's going to do. And I would like this as part of that as well. So anyway, I'm sorry that my frustration is coming out. I just really think when we're spending taxpayer dollars, we need to be very, very careful and make sure that we're as transparent as possible.
Okay, thank you. So there is the item here is to award this contract. So other items I think, you know, can be dealt with at other times, but I would like to entertain a motion on this. It's the item again is approval of contract award for Bayshore Bikeway Barrio Logan project. So,
Sankey, move approval.
Second.
Que Sotelo Solis, more Gloria. And I didn't have my hand raised, just to do one last comment there, Chair.
yes, Mayor Sotelo Solis, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm glad we do have a motion I second on the floor. I think anytime we have these regional assets go through our community, we commit as regional municipal leaders, I would say put the municipal hat on, because we talk about the impact in our communities. We talk about road or street exchanges, or how we mitigate, you know, the additional impact to whether it be pedestrian traffic, bike traffic, you know, and traffic in general. So to say that, and again, being flanked by two big cities, City of San Diego to the north and Chula Vista to the south, I get it. We want to make sure that we have those resources and make sure that we are not taken advantage of, as is being alluded to. But the reality is the City of San Diego definitely has also too contributed and helped in many issues, bringing resources to the table. And I have to say that it's unfortunate that it's being posed or positioned that this community, it's a community of the entire city of San Diego. Yes, it is part of the city of San Diego, but this is a community that deserves a first-class bike path. And it's that connectivity that they have not seen for decades. Things have been done, you know, put on billboards and, you know, advertised as such. Communities like National City as well, we're still waiting on a piece of the Bayshore Bikeway. So to say that, you know, it's something that the investment of the cities that it's going through need to put money in, we already have. We've already invested quite a bit, and we've been waiting. And I just want to say I'm glad we have a motion and a second on the floor, because this is going to benefit everyone, not just Barrio Logan, not just the city of San Diego, but everyone. So I'll call the vote.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, so let's go ahead and vote on it.
Chair, we do have several members of the public with their hands up on this item. How would you like me to
Oh, I'm
proceed with
sorry.
that?
Okay,
That's
yes,
okay.
we need to call on the members of the public. I'm sorry we didn't do that already.
No problem. We'll start with Rosina Lizagara, followed by Mike Bullock.
I'm sorry. I just want to thank you the boards for doing this. But in regards of National City residents, we were so excited to hear this motion to be approved and to move forward with this. National City residents and the whole nation would be excited to hear this connectivity point, which is really crucial for all the bikers and all the people that is maybe a potential job placement connectivity. And I will be very excited to communicate this to our constituents here in National City and the rest of the border regions, which is really exciting. Thank you so much for bringing this to the discussion table. That concludes my comment.
Thank you very much. Our next commenter will be Mike Bullock, who will be followed by Nicole Burgess. Mike, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Mike Bullock, Oceanside. Yeah, I support a yes vote on this. I noticed that the conversation was kind of wide ranging and included whether the money is being spent to increase bicycling throughout the county. And I think that you should give yourselves credit for one thing, that where you are spending money, and I see that, and I'm on the Bicycle Pedestrian Committee in Oceanside, and we have a bicycling traffic skills class, and we call it an LCI. That's a league certified instructor. That league is League of American Bicyclists. So they are teaching people what the real hazards are, the actual bicycle accident statistics, car bike statistics, and giving people confidence that, generally speaking, you can ride safely on all of the streets. We have a huge investment. We should maintain our streets, very important to bicycling. And it's been my primary mode of transportation for 50 years. And one of the things that the Bicycle Pedestrian Committee does is facilitate these classes. And I actually took that class, learned a few things. But there are some other considerations. One thing about that class is I would like there to be some data collected to find out, does it change people's lives? Does it cause them to drive less and bicycle more after they learn how to ride safely on our city streets? That would be very valuable information. And I would like this class to be acknowledged and understood. And I think if based on the data that you collected, I think you would see that it does reduce vehicle miles traveled, and therefore you should, you're subsidizing this class, and I appreciate that very much, but the instructors are always volunteer. They're not getting any money. And I think you could put more money into this program and actually pay people to take these classes if and only if the data showed that it did cause them to use their bicycle a lot more for utilitarian purposes. Another thing to think about is just barriers to bicycling. And we have one in South Oceanside. It is in a mobility hub. And Vista Way, it used to go from the Coast Highway, and it went up to Vista and so on and so forth. And when you built Freeway I-5, you just cut that off. And so there's a bicycle bridge that could be done, Kelly Street Bike Bridge, and that's a very high trip count destination. And people want to get to the coast on their bicycles. So anyways, there's a lot of projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Nicole Burgess, followed by Kyle Highscala.
Good morning, Sandag, and thank you for the time this morning. Nicole Burgess, I sit on the City of San Diego Mobility Board and very excited for the motion and to see the collaboration from City of San Diego staff to move this forward. As mentioned, thank you, Chair Blake Spear, for your comments and all others for supporting these efforts. As mentioned multiple times, this is a regional asset and an extremely dangerous corridor to ride right now. Bayshore Bikeway, people all over the county, all over the actually nation come to ride when they come to San Diego. That is a place, a destination for them to come to. It is safe access to jobs and to military bases. And so for those people to have options to take a different way of getting to their places of destinations is extremely valuable. And so just a couple things to say. There was just a recent report about bike projects. It's a 10-to-1 return on investment. And that return on investment is for our environment, for our health, and for our economics. And no other projects really in the region. When we talk about $8 million, I mean, that sounds like a lot, and I understand it is a lot. A lot of our bike projects are all at that amount. Inland Rail Trail had some high costs as well. That's what it takes to really create safe, good bike infrastructure that all ages and abilities will want to ride. So, when we look at the comparison of prices, maybe we should actually kind of put that table next to highway projects and see how much really we're spending on car infrastructure. So just lastly, I want to say thank you to Sandag and the RTP for the alignment of Choice Creek Regional Park to the east that will go all the way up into La Mesa and actually out to East County, Spring Valley, and Santee and El Cajon. That is the Choice Creek alignment. From here, from 28th Street, there is great support and great advocacy for a flyover bridge to connect up the Choice Creek, which drastically is communities, undeserved communities that have been neglected for so long, and our water, cleaning our water before it hits the bay. So that's something that I hope that this board and as many of you have mentioned, looking at this program and expanding it and supporting that efforts, I'm here at the table and I look forward to those conversations and all your support. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Kyle Highscala, who will be followed by Julie Corrales.
Good morning, Sandag Board. My name is Kyle Highscala, and I'm speaking to you this morning in favor of this project being awarded to, and from the perspective this morning as a climate justice policy advocate with Environmental Health Coalition. I live in University Heights in the city of San Diego, and I commute once a week by bicycle to the city of National City, where the EHC offices are located. And I can go down the newly created Mead bike path, which is wonderful. It's a Sandag project. Get to the 30th Street bike lane, which is a protected lane. And as soon as I cross the 94, the bicycle infrastructure disappears. This is a matter of environmental justice and investing in neighborhoods that have not seen the type of public safety and public infrastructure investments for decades. The air quality is noticeably different as I bike towards the bay, and Harbor Drive is the absolute most dangerous stretch of my commute. I have to do a lot of biking around it. I do not bike on Harbor Drive for fear of my life. And this is an opportunity to fix a huge gap in a regional bike network in a neighborhood that has a huge need for investment. Not only will this be better for the bicycle commuters, it will create more options for the residents of Barrio Logan to get to National City. It truly will be a regional connection. I want to bring up the fact that these improvements are about public safety and preventing preventable deaths. 16 people died in San Diego County while biking last year, and Sandag has an opportunity with this project to fix one of the most dangerous gaps. I look forward to not having to come up with creative ways to get around Harbor Drive, and being able to get to work in a safe, protected bikeway the entire way, not just in the more affluent neighborhoods, but in the low income communities of color that desperately need these investments. So please fund this project, and thank you all for supporting this.
Thank you. Our final two speakers will be Julie Corrales, followed by Sanjay. Julie, you can go ahead.
Hello, thank you. My name is Julie Corrales. I am a resident in Barrio Logan and a regional organizer and activist. Barrio Logan is a unique and important resource for the entire region. However, it's also a community that's been systemically underfunded for decades. So to pull this item from consent to really discuss diverting more funds away from this vulnerable community to projects that aren't even identified yet is really disappointing, to say the least. Barrio Logan suffers from horrible air quality because of all the traffic that comes through their truck traffic. We've had racist land use choices in the past that have dissected our community with freeways. So we're impacted by air quality, and we need to get more folks biking through our neighborhood as opposed to driving through it. So as Kyle mentioned before, my comments, this is really a public safety issue for this community. So another point worth noting is that the Barrio Logan community has huge ridership, transit ridership. I mean, this community are the folks that are using these systems, and they deserve to be able to bike home from other places in the region. But beyond the benefits that this bike path would have in the community of Barrio Logan, as mentioned by many others, this would be a regional benefit. This connects, downtown job centers and tourism to the emerging, tourism and art scene in Barrio Logan, to the Troyas Creek pathway out to the east. This is really about investing in communities that have been ignored and underfunded by racist policy. This is a time of reckoning for us to remedy and rectify these injustices. So I hope that everyone votes to do that today. Thank you.
Thank you. And Chair, it looks like our last speaker put their hand down, so that does conclude the public comments.
Okay, well, speeding along at top speed here, let's go ahead and take a vote on this.
Thank you very much. For the City of Carlsbad, Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Thank you. For the City of Chula Vista, I'm sorry, the City of Chula Vista is absent. For the City of Coronado, Councilmember Santee.
Coronado, aye.
For the County of San Diego, Supervisor Lawson Reamer.
Aye.
For the City of Del Mar, Councilmember Gasterland.
Aye.
For the City of El Cajon, Councilmember Goebel.
Aye.
For the City of Encinitas, Chair Blakespear.
Aye.
The City of Escondido is absent. For the City of Imperial Beach, Mayor Dedina.
Dedina, aye.
For the City of La Mesa, Councilmember Baber.
Aye.
For the City of Lemon Grove, Mayor Vasquez.
Mayor Vasquez, aye.
For the City of National City, Second Vice Chair Sotelo Solis.
Sotelo Solis, aye.
For the City of Oceanside, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yes.
For the City of Poway, Mayor Voss.
Aye.
For the City of San Diego, Vice Chair Gloria.
Aye.
For the City of San Marcos, Mayor Jones.
Jones, yes.
For the City of Santee, Councilmember Koval.
Aye.
For the City of Solana Beach, Mayor Hebner.
Aye.
For the City of Vista, Mayor Ritter.
Aye.
Thank you. And that does pass with those members present.
Okay, great. Next we have the item that was pulled. It's item number 5, pulled by Mayor Voss. And if we have any public comments on this, this is the Policy Advisory Committee actions. And this is, the board is asked to ratify the actions taken by the Policy Advisory Committee since the last board meeting. Any public comments or board member comments? And if not, then we'll just vote on this separately. Let's hold on, Mayor Jones.
Could we highlight what we're voting on, please?
Does staff want to provide it? If you're a member of the public who wants to speak on this, please put your hand up. We'll ask staff to provide some information about this item, and then I'll call on Mayor Jones. I think, well, I don't see Hassan or staff popping up, but
Chair, I can summarize the report if you'd like.
okay.
Bear with me just one moment here. So the board is being asked to ratify the actions taken by the Policy Advisory Committee since the last board meeting, which include an action from the Transportation Committee on January 7th, approving amendment number 6 to the 2021 Regional Transportation Improvement Program. From this morning's Executive Committee meeting, there was the approval of the January 28th and February 11th Board of Directors meeting agendas, and then the approval of the allocation of $300,000 from the contingency budget in FY22 for the implementation of the community benefits agreement. And that is the extent of the actions in the report.
Okay, thank you. And do we have any public comments?
I do see one hand from the public. Gretchen Newsom, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you. Gretchen Newsom on behalf of IBW 569 and our 3,700 union electricians and paraprofessionals. Just wanted to put out there that we commend and thank you for adopting the gold standard of a community benefits agreement, which is inclusive on equity and will transform careers and change lives, making a real difference in the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, of local working families. Again, as I've said before, the true gem and benefit of this community benefits agreement is the impact it has on the workforce, with local hire, apprenticeship opportunities, and the creation of construction careers for local families, including those that have had barriers to career entry, like the formerly incarcerated or the foster care youth. The funds requested to implement the community benefits agreement, as stated in the staff report, will cover, quote, program startup that is inclusive of labor relations, training, contract revisions, development of a jobs coordinator program, creation of the workforce opportunities for rising careers initiative, and communications outreach. The ultimate goal is to create economic sustainability benefits to the region derived from employment and training programs to help individuals that are systemically marginalized, end quote. This goal is certainly worthy of your investment, investing tax dollars back into the local community with local jobs. And the community benefits agreement you adopted will connect community members to quality construction careers. We ask that you continue to support the community benefits agreement by moving forward in its implementation with a strong weighted support. We will continue to partner with you on building stronger communities connected with a quality transit network. Thank you.
Chair, that does conclude the public commenters on this item.
Okay,
Move to approve, Chair.
Okay, we have a motion, and I think Mayor Gloria was at a second. I'm going to call on you, Mayor Jones. Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and now let's go to Mayor Jones.
Thank you so much. I had actually asked staff for information on this as well, which I did get at 10 o'clock last night. So it didn't allow me to ask further questions to understand what exactly the $300,000 is for. So we're now into the fund application for salaries, other direct costs, and then contracted services for $1.358 million per this $300,000 budget increase. And I'm not even sure what contracted services are. And so I guess I need to ask a couple of questions, and maybe someone could answer me from staff. And that is, first of all, are there going to be management fees on top of what on top of this $1.358 million budget?
Okay, this is Elaine Richardson. I'm the Director of Diversity and Equity, and good morning to the board members. So in terms of the budget amendment, when you looked at the table, you would see the highlighted blue numbers, and it's taking our budget from $1 million it added 300,000 to our budget, taking it from 637 to the $1,058,000. So let me explain that to you. So that budget shows our entire budget for our department for salaries, benefits, etc. And then it also talked about other direct costs. Our contracted services is inclusive of all of our consultant services. We have 11 programs that we manage, including DBE programs, the social equity programs, ADA, labor compliance, several programs. So the 1.3 million is not indicative of what we're asking for the CBA. The only monies that we are asking for at this time is the 300,000 to implement the CBA. And what we are going to do with that is we're going to develop programs that will help the underserved and systemically marginalized individuals enter the workforce. Our objective is to assist the most vulnerable and underrepresented communities. And this includes veterans, homeless, single parents, unemployed, those on public assistance, and formerly incarcerated. And we're really excited about our Workforce Opportunities for Rising Careers program, because this is going to emphasize employment for disadvantaged, targeted, and local workers who want to participate on Sanday construction contracts. So that is hopefully a clarification on what you saw in the budget amendment. That's indicative of our entire department budget, not just the CBA.
No, I understand that part. I guess maybe not being clear. So the total $1.35 million in the contracted services, does that also include, is part of that inclusive of management fees that for managing these programs? That I'm unclear about. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so no, the contracted services represents our consultant services. So in terms of consultant services, we have consultant services for our DBE and labor compliance programs. So that contracted services is only indicative of what we require for consultant services.
So who's going to manage these contracts?
So in terms of managing the contracts, we will have a senior administrative analyst that is being recruited to monitor this program.
So, okay, so where is that in the budget that we have that figured out?
So that cost is 152,000. That's a projected cost depending on who is hired to manage this program. And that cost is within our budget that was already approved.
So let me just
annual budget.
Let me just elaborate, Mayor Jones. So all we're asking today is a 300,000 amendment because of your action last month. Last month, you approved a community-based agreement. And if I may say, being part of many agreements, this will probably the fairest, the best in the state of California for sure. We need to implement it to follow your action of approving that. Implementing it and this is a supplemental budget because it's done last month. We can't have it in the last year's budget. So moving forward, it always be part of the budget. But the $300,000, like the chair indicated earlier, is going to go into communication, some legal services, all consulting, no staff. And this is a one-time budget amendment just because we didn't have it in the budget to move forward. So your question is, all we're changing today, the budget you approved last year is still the same. All we're changing is the 300,000 amendment to implement the CPA they just approved last December.
Well, I guess just, when you're approving a budget amendment, you need to fully understand what it contains. And then I guess what all the other parts of it contain. I guess, and I do have a question, and it didn't really occur to me to ask this last month. And that is on the was there an RFP that was released on this so that we had bids to move forward in a community benefits agreement?
We haven't started this yet. We're asking you, we can't start an RFP process before you authorize us. We're asking you for a budget today. And once you do that, we'll figure out the process to hire.
No, I'm actually talking about the community benefits agreement that was approved last month.
We had you authorize us. You took an action to authorize us to negotiate.
But was there an RFP that was done on that for consultants? I'm not sure about that.
We had consultant on board helping us, yes. And they were done through the normal recruiting process.
So it wasn't an open RFP that went out to the public. I'm just trying to understand what we're doing here.
There was an RFP.
Yeah.
There was
a request for proposal, and it was actually allocated into 3 programs, and we couldn't actually execute the programs until the board authorized us to do so. But yes, there was a request for proposal for these types of services.
Okay, I'm trying to understand that. Okay, and then all right, well, I actually still have a problem with this, being that it's not open to all San Diego County residents as far as work goes, and that we have this managed contract that, well, now it's going to cost another $152,000 to manage this contract that leaves out some of our workforce, which, you know, post-pandemic is even more concerning to me. But anyway, I just needed to have those questions answered. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Mhm. Okay, so let's go forward and vote on this now.
Thank you, Chair. For the City of Carlsbad, Mayor Hall.
No.
For the, the City of Chula Vista is absent. For the City of Coronado, Councilmember Sankey.
Sankey, no.
For the County of San Diego, Supervisor Lawson Reamer.
Aye.
For the City of Del Mar, Councilmember Gasterland.
Aye.
For the City of El Cajon, Councilmember Goebel.
No.
For the City of Encinitas, Chair Blakespear.
Aye.
For the City of Imperial, I'm sorry, the City of Escondido is absent. For the City of Imperial Beach, Mayor Dedina.
Yes.
For the City of La Mesa, Councilmember Baber.
Councilmember Pepper left, he indicated to me, and Councilmember Jack Shu is here.
Thank you very much.
Mesa is aye.
Thank you. For the City of Lemon Grove, Mayor Vasquez.
Mayor Vasquez, aye.
Thank you. For the City of National City, Second Vice Chair Sotelo Solis.
Sotelo Solis, aye.
For the City of Oceanside, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, no.
For the City of Poway, Mayor Voss.
No.
For the City of San Diego, Vice Chair Gloria.
Aye.
For the City of San Marcos, Mayor Jones.
Jones, no.
For the City of Santee, Councilmember Koval.
No.
For the City of Solana Beach, Mayor Hebner.
Hebner, yes.
For the City of Vista, Mayor Ritter.
Ritter, no.
Thank you. Apologies, I just want to give the production team a moment here for the tally. Apologies, it looks like our voting system is having some technical difficulties. Just a moment. Thank you, and that motion does pass.
Okay, great. Let's move forward on our consent. Next, we have the continuation of teleconference meetings. So just very briefly, I just want to share that we all are very much aware, I think, of the numbers right now. And I'll just give you one data point. This is from the county, which I think is really important to remember. So we are considered a high transmission area by the CDC because of our high numbers. So just this Tuesday and Wednesday, and this is the last time that data was posted, we had 14,000 people in the county per day. So on Tuesday and Wednesday, 14,000 people who were positive. And just for comparison, in November, just a few months ago, there were 400 people per day positive. So we're at 14,000 per day positive versus 400 per day positive in November. I know that this board is very split on whether to stay remote or not. So 7 of you voted against continuing teleconference meetings the last time we took a vote on this. I also had 3 board members who reached out saying it was a very bad idea to go back to in person. One person reached out concerned and saying he's not going to wear a mask inside. Basically, you know, all the different agencies are doing different things in this county. My perspective as the chair is that we would be better served by being in person, and we should work to get there as soon as it's safe. So I think our all of our relationships with each other, with the staff, with the public, we are missing out on some intangibles by not being in person, but we also need to continue at this point to do our meetings remotely. So I'm hoping that we can aim to get back to that. And but in the meantime, we will continue remote for some short portion of time. So this is the recommendation that's on the agenda. Actually, can staff, because I know things have changed since this was posted. Do we need to change what's recommended here?
Chair Blakespear, this is Melissa Kaufelt. There's no need to change the resolution that was included as part of the agenda package. The staff report, though, in support of this item did refer to your direction back in December to come back to in-person meetings at the end of January. And you've since directed differently, but the resolution itself does not need to be changed.
Okay, so we will not be coming back on the end of January, so we'll remove that. But otherwise, it stays the same. So I would entertain a motion on this.
So moved.
This is Terry, I'll move.
Okay, thank you. And then do we have any public comment on this item?
Thank you, Chair. We have no public commenters on this item.
Okay, Mayor Voss.
I would just continue to encourage staff and leadership to consider a hybrid opportunity. I think that would best serve all needs for the public and for the board.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and vote.
Yeah, I have a brief comment. So
okay, sorry.
I support the hybrid opportunity, and I'd like to invite board members, if you do a Google search on UCSD Return to Learn dashboard, you'll see maps of where the sewage on campus is showing up COVID and how it's spreading or shrinking. And you'll see trends. And what's neat about the UCSD dashboard, it's an encapsulated, thoroughly covered instance that gives us some really clear data. So it's a good place to go to have a clear, independent understanding of one particular very large site.
Okay, thank you. So let's go ahead and vote on this.
Thank you very much. For the City of Carlsbad, Mayor Hall.
No.
For the City of Chula Vista, I'm sorry, the City of Chula Vista is absent. For the City of Coronado, Councilmember Sankey.
Sankey, aye.
For the County of San Diego, Supervisor Lawson Raymer.
Aye.
For the City of Del Mar, Councilmember Gasterland.
Del Mar, aye.
For the City of El Cajon, Councilmember Goebel.
Yes.
For the City of Encinitas, Chair Blakespear.
Yes.
For the City, I'm sorry, the City of Escondido is absent. For the City of Imperial Beach, Mayor Dedina.
Yes.
For the City of La Mesa, Councilmember Shu.
La Mesa, yes.
For the City of Lemon Grove, Mayor Vasquez.
Mayor Vasquez, yes.
Thank you. For the City of National City, Second Vice Chair Sotelo Solis.
Sotelo Solis, aye.
For the City of Oceanside, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, no.
For the City of Poway, Mayor Voss.
Aye.
For the City of San Diego, Vice Chair Gloria.
Aye.
For the City of San Marcos, Mayor Jones.
Jones, yes.
For the City of Santee, Councilmember Koval.
Aye.
For the City of Solana Beach, Mayor Hebner.
Hebner, yes.
Thank you. And the City of Vista, Mayor Ritter.
Ritter, yes.
Thank you very much. That motion does pass with 15 yeses and 2 nos.
Okay, thank you. Now we're on to our report. So our first report is a proposed budget amendment to the fiscal year 2022 budget to update the Otay Mesa East Port of Entry from Caltrans staff. So we have Mario and Nikki. Would you like to take this?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chair, and welcome. Thank you to all the board members. Again, my name is Mario Orso. I'm the Corollary Director for project. And as it was mentioned, Nikki Tianco, one of the project managers, is with me that will be providing a report. Today, we come with some good news. We are coming with a budget amendment to request approval to receive $24.9 million that the California Transportation Commission has approved for this project. But before we want to present a brief update on what's going on out in the field, and Nikki will be providing that. Also want to let you know that in the near future, different team members on the project will be coming to this board of directors to provide more details and seek approvals on the financing, agreements, and delivery strategies of this project, as well as maybe our partners will be from Mexico will come and provide some reports of where they are on the project. So Nikki, want to take it away? Next slide.
Thank you, Mario. So this is a bird's eye view of our project location in Otay Mesa. You are looking to the east with the San Isidro Mountains at the top of the image. The roadway facilities at the valley include the State Route 905, your toll road 125, and to the east of the interchanges is State Route 11, which veers south to the future Otay Mesa East port of entry. And then to the right of the blue line is Mexico. And lastly, the existing Otay Mesa port of entry is at the end of 905, which is approximately 2 miles from our future POE. Next slide, please. Now looking north with the arrow up, this diagram gives you a synopsis of the current status of all of the facilities in the corridor. Infrastructures that are completed are shown in blue, which includes most of the roadway interchanges and all of the 2 miles of SR11. The ones that are in construction at the moment are in dark orange, which are to the left of the slide, the south to westbound connector from 125 to 905 west. And also you have the Siempre Viva interchange at the end of the freeway to the east, right of the picture. The areas in green are the 100-acre port of entry and the CHP's 20-acre inspection facility labeled CVEF. And we are now focused in developing the design, the ITS, and the financing strategy. This layout also shows key locations of the border wait time detection systems to be installed in this area. So our investment has totaled $600 million, and proportions of those amounts with federal, state, and local dollars are shown on the right. Next slide, please. This aerial perspective is a closer look at the interchanges. 2 of these are new connectors that provide a direct connection from 125 to both the existing and future ports of entry. And it also alleviates congestion on local arterials, especially the Otay Mesa road. That's the road that runs horizontally at the top of this picture. And these 2 new connectors were open to traffic just last month. Adjacent to the left of the slide is a south to westbound connector, and this will open to traffic in the fall of this year. The 2 buildings that you see are industrial buildings that were being developed at the same time as we are building this bridge. Next slide, please. And this is a picture of our leaders and partners who tirelessly support and coalesce for the improvement of this corridor as we celebrated this big milestone of opening the new interchanges last December. Next slide. And here is another look of the 2 new connectors looking south. Next slide. So moving on, a mile to the east of the interchanges is the newly opened Enrico Fermi Diverging Diamond Interchange, and underneath it is SR11. This version of a diamond interchange is the most efficient, most effective method that facilitates truck traffic from your CHP's inspection facility, as this is the portal to the California State Highway System. This also picks up traffic for the new Amazon building at the north and all other warehouses in the local area. This sounds hubris, but I want to mention that this facility has recently received the WTS recognition as the most innovative transportation solutions award in 2021, and was also named Project of the Year by the Institute of Transportation Engineers, ITE, in 2021. Next slide, please. So moving on, half a mile east of Enrico Fermi is Alta Road Overcrossing, which provides access north and south of this local region. Now, why am I showing you this? As this bridge looks elementary and standard, but this, most importantly, houses a large water line that exchanges water between the United States and Mexico. This is a great example of what the dynamics is and how this area works with bilateral trade. Sometimes Mexico buys water from us, or we buy water from Mexico. A temporary bypass line had to be created while doing the construction of this overcrossing. At the top of the slide in the background is Enrico Fermi, and that is the Amazon building that I mentioned in the previous image. Next slide, please. Next is the last interchange, Siempre Viva. Now we have traveled further east on the freeway, and this is where the highway ends and the port of entry begins. As you can see, the roadway is starting to open up, and this opens up to 15 lanes. You can also see that there are new buildings being developed in this area. The white building to the right started construction as we started the construction of this bridge. Next slide, please. And this is a drone image of the end of the roadway and where the toll plaza will be situated. As I mentioned, the toll plaza can take up to 15 lanes. But looking closely, this photo also captures a portion of the underground facilities of our future POE. And I want to emphasize that we have started the construction of culvert drainage systems for the POE facility. Now I'm going to pass this back to Mr. Mario Orso to continue this virtual tour of the corridor.
Thank you, Nikki. Let's move forward. Can we click? Now, Nikki have shown you some locations. So now let's stitch it all together on this simulation that we're flying over State Route 11. And you can see now we're flying over the diverging diamond at Enrico Fermi, which would have become the bottleneck of commerce in our region if we wouldn't have done this unique interchange. The Alta Road Bridge, we continue traveling. You could see the highway opening 3 lanes, and now it's going to open to 15 lanes as we're going into the Siempre Viva interchange. And now, after we move to Siempre Viva, you're going to see the toll plaza that SANDAC will operate, and we're starting to see the port of entry. This is the simulation that also Executive Director Ikrata showed at his briefing, and you could see the state facility for the highway patrol for weighing in trucks, and then also further on you could see the proposed port of entry. We're proposing to open a mid-sized port of entry at opening day. We call it a 5x5, 5 inspection gates for passenger vehicles and 5 inspection gates for trucks. And but they're interchangeable. Anytime we could be using 10 truck lanes or 10 passenger vehicle lanes. But I think what I want to highlight here also is look at the 10 area. 120 acres is bigger than Disneyland, or is bigger than both San Isidro and Otay Mesa together, ports of entry. So we're leaving this facility and we're designing this facility so it could grow in a modular way based on our needs for the next several decades. So this is what we have as the project. Let's continue to the next slide. Again, what Nikki presented, this is a vision of the toll facility where it's where we're going to have it, and then the port of entry work. The $24.9 million that we're asking to receive today and approve for that is to finish the site preparation of the property itself, those drainage units, but also fill out, have a flat path so we can build the port of entry on top of it. So we're basically are going gangbusters to begin the port of entry, and this should be beginning this coming summer. Let's go to the next slide. Again, this is some of the drainage units that we're already starting to build. They're going to be underneath the port of entry itself. So this is massive. Again, the site, like I said, 120 acres is a very big site that we have to prep, bring utility services, and have it ready so we can start building later on the port of entry itself. Let's go to the next slide. I think I want to highlight, the intelligent transportation system on this project is one of the unique pieces that's going to make it successful, the innovations. And recently we had a big success. The border wait time system it's going to connect all the border crossings, San Isidro, Otay, and Otay Mesa East together, was deployed already for Otay Mesa and for San Isidro. We have been taking measurements and giving to the public measurements for southbound border wait times. But now the northbound border wait time system has been installed. We're doing some beta testing or checking that the reads are accurate. And we're hoping that in the next couple of months, we'll be transmitting this information to the public through different webpage and partnering with Customs and Border Protection. This is going to allow us on Otay Mesa East to have that dynamic toll pricing that's going to allow us to manage a 20 to 30 minute wait time on this port of entry. Let's keep going. So we always get asked how we're doing with our Mexican partners. We're working with Mexico on the intelligent transportation systems to have mirror systems. We're having border design coordination, and we're also working on the financial strategy. Like I mentioned, in the near future, the team members will be coming to provide updates on this and seek approvals for multiple agreements and strategies. Now, Mexico has informed us that they are going to finalize this month their roadway design. They're planning to finalize their port of entry design by March, and they are about 50% into acquiring all their right-of-way. Let's keep going. Next slide. So this is, like Executive Director said, we're in a very important time in this project. And this is the beginning of the conversation on financing, delivery strategies, and agreements. And this is our next phases. We're going to be finalizing the financial strategy, and we'll be bringing it for your consideration. We'll be breaking ground for site preparation, and this is the purpose why we're here, to accept the funds that the CTC has awarded us. And we're working on securing multiple agreements with both the federal agencies and the Mexican agencies for this port of entry, both for operations and maintenance. Let's go to the last slide. So today we're here to seek that the Transportation Committee recommends that the Board of Directors approve an amendment to the fiscal year 2022 program budget to accept $24.9 million of surface transportation block grants, also known as Coordinated Border Infrastructure Funds, to construct State Route 11 Otay Mesa East project, which is under Capital Improvement Program number 1201101. That concludes our presentation, and we're welcome for any questions. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that presentation. That was really interesting, and the visuals were excellent. I appreciate all the photos and the rendering, flyover. I mean, that really helps us visualize the massive project that this is. So I'm glad that that was done. I'm going to call on the public first, but I just want to ask one quick question about why is it named after Enrico Fermi? My fifth grader did a report on him, and he's an Italian American who's not Mexican American, but also known for the atomic bomb, like one of the creators of nuclear power. And why is this road named after him?
The different developer, this is to my knowledge, Chair, and maybe we could ask the county later on staff, but the different developers, as they start developing this area, and this has been many years ago, they've named different roads based on how they're providing their developments are going, and the county approves them. I know of a developer who I think a while ago put in a bunch of golf course names in England, also in Otay Mesa. So I don't really have a full answer for you. I could get the answer, but this was what I know from the county of San Diego from some years ago.
Okay, well, there are 2 county board of supervisor members on this board, so I might recommend that there be a consideration of a renaming of this area to be maybe more appropriate to the binational reality and also a reflection of diversity that might seem better. Okay, so before we go to the board members with their hands up, let's go ahead and call on the public.
Thank you, Chair. We have 2 hands up from the public. First will be Mike Bullock, followed by Tim Bylash. Mike, you can go ahead.
Yeah, this is Mike Bullock, Oceanside. Yeah, the graphics are good, and it is shockingly big. No doubt about it. This is a big thinking here. I just wonder if you're also accounting for the fact that our first occurring climate stabilization target is in 2030, and it's to reduce emissions 80% below what we emitted in 1990. And that's for the industrialized world, and that would be us. The most efficient way to move freight I assume we all know this, is on ships. Tonnage per energy. And the second most efficient way to move freight is on rail. And cars and trucks are not close to that. So, in light of all this, I just wonder if this is the right kind of big thinking that we need to be doing. 2030 is pretty quick. That's why people call it a climate emergency. A lot of people that use that terminology, I don't really think they know why it's an emergency. I don't think they really, because they're thinking along the lines of expanding trucking. And by 2030, I hope our electricity is nearly, it's got to be about 80% renewable, but that's only 80%. And I've done an analysis. We need to reduce driving. We can't electrify our fleet of cars fast enough. I don't think we can electrify our fleet of trucks fast enough. 2030, we're still going to have a lot of internal combustion engine cars and trucks. We're going to have diesel trucks in 2030 still, unfortunately. So I think we need to do our big thinking a little differently. And we need to get freight onto rails, out of trucks, off trucks, and into ships, because they are also efficient. But that is where the future needs to be. And I'm not talking about long term. I'm talking about 2030. That's 9 years from now. So anyway, those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Tim Bylish. You can go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you. If you can hear me well enough. Great presentation. I watched the previous presentation on this again. I just had two questions, maybe at some point could be measured. One is to tag on to Mike Bullock's comments, the connections for this to the public transportation and regional transportation plan in terms of moving people that are coming back across the border, not just freight or cars that may travel larger distances, access to some of the transit points that will be available. I'm just not familiar with that. Would appreciate at some point finding out more about that. And then the second one, I could not quite visualize where the 15 lanes were going to go in terms of the car passage. And at some point would be interested in knowing how I go about finding that. Thank you for your great report and your continued look at this exciting update.
Thank you, and Chair. That concludes the public comments.
Okay, thank you. Vice Chair Gloria.
Thank you, Chair. And I want to thank, like so many already have, the staff for the presentation. Mario, Nikki, thank you for the good work in illustrating, I think, a really important project. There was a lot of discussion earlier about dollar amounts and projects of extremely smaller size relatively. This is a massive project, but I think it's helpful in illuminating the complexity of the projects that our staff have to engage with. And so while it's easy on Zoom to sit and pick apart what staff may do, let me just tell you, you can see the complexities of international diplomacy, of working with federal, state, and local regulators, of figuring out culverts and drainage and water transfer, as well as truck traffic, via individual vehicle traffic. I'd hope that this board would kind of think about that a bit more, think about the level of work that our staff has to put in, and understand precisely why so many of these projects are complex and why they take so long. And I guess that's the other piece. Sometimes I hear board members talking about slowing things on. Matt Hall and I have been talking about the Bayshore Bikeway for 15,000 years. We've been talking about this project for 10 million years. What today is about is being really excited that you saw all of the additional, sort of accessory work is getting done. And we're now to the point where we can start constructing a port of entry. And with all due respect to the public commenters, who I'm not sure how frequent they go down to the border, This project is absolutely necessary for the future success of our region, period. We have to build this thing. This is important. The wait times along our border are unacceptable. And Mayor Dedina talked about their accessory impacts on our environment are tremendous. If anyone is pro-environment and not thinking that this project is necessary, you are contradicting yourself. So, not to take people to the woodshed, because this is a good day. And let me just transition, a hard transition. This is big, this is exciting. This is something that every board member, I don't care your philosophy, your partisanship, or what part of the county you represent, you need to be 1000% behind this project. It is one of the most important things that you will be voting on as a member of this agency. And the fact that we can do it with some other folks' money, even better. So I would say with tremendous appreciation to our staff and the multiple public agencies that are having to get out of their comfort zones, get creative, be innovative to create something that's going to solve a huge international and regional problem. By God, this is a good day and worth sitting through all that mashugada that was the consent agenda and all the stuff that was going on previously. So, Madam Chair, with great appreciation, I move the staff recommendation. I ask for my colleagues' support and remind you all we have a few more items on the agenda this morning.
Okay, thank you. Well, Councilmember or Mayor Dedina.
Yeah, I will just echo the enthusiasm for my colleague, Mayor Gloria, who's been a big supporter of emissions reductions on the border and transportation planning. Just a kudos again to Mario and his staff. They're the NASA of transportation planning in the United States, if not the planet. This may be the most complicated place to do infrastructure and transportation planning anywhere that you can think of. And you know, at the end of the day, they have to involve the president of Mexico, who's given his strong endorsement for this project. Again, we had the ambassador of the United States to Mexico, Ken Salazar, here in December, as San talked about, as well as EPA Director Michael Regan gave their strong endorsement for this project. But just in background, just as Bayshore Bikeway has been for 30 years and Barrio Logan should have been done 30 years ago, you know, more than 30 years ago, the Fish and Wildlife Service and agencies in San Diego started doing habitat conservation planning, preserved the Otay Mountain. BLM owns that, controls that. The Fish and Wildlife Service has land to the north and east. And then Otay Valley Regional Park is over 8,000 acres. So we did the work in habitat conservation planning so we could actually do the infrastructure and economic development planning. Mountain lions will go from the east part of Otay Mesa, just east of this project site, all the way down. We've seen them right on the edge of South San Diego Bay National Wildlife Refuge. So it's a great example of economic development, environmental conservation, and emissions reductions, and then the public health and quality of life component of reducing arguably the greatest concentration of diesel emissions anywhere in our region, if not North America, is going on our border. So it has significant emissions reductions. And then I'll just say to all our climate activists, we've got to be more proactive in working with our colleagues and partners in Mexico to work on truck, right? Get you know, clean vehicles, electric vehicles. We've got to do that hemispheric wide. This can't be the United States or California. We've got to think always across the border, or we're not going to reduce our emissions, and we're not collectively going to meet our Paris climate treaty goals, and not going to have clean air. So I'll be enthusiastically second, but again, I want to thank Sandag for providing a template, at least for me, on how you do complex binational infrastructure projects that meet all these goals. And I've copied everything they did when we built a coalition to deal with water quality. It's been very successful, and I appreciate that. So enthusiastically second this motion, or the motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Shu.
Thank you. And I understand the enthusiasm from both Mayor Dedina and Mayor Gloria for this project. It's been in the work for a long time, but I think it's really based on a model that Sandag has been working with, our region has been working with in terms of regional transportation that are decades old. So I want to ask a few questions of Mario, just so I have some clarification for this project. First, the grant source, surface transportation block grants, does that restrict these funds only for vehicle transportation or truck transportation, or can it be used for other modes of surface transportation?
It can be used for other modes of surface transportation. It's a federal fund, a formula funds that the state holds, and the California Transportation Commission has authority. Actually, we use these colors of funds for other projects that are non-vehicle generators.
So essentially, it could have been used for a rail project.
If there was a project that had merits to do it in that amount, yeah, it could, yes.
It could have been. The other question is, in one of your slides, you showed the various ports of entry, and then you had some dollar signs associated with numbers going to this particular site. Does that mean that you're contemplating using some kind of managed lane type system or managed entry system so that we can regulate the use of these 3 sites?
That's good. Well, not San Isidro and Otay. Those will continue to be free crossings. Otay Mesa East will be tolled, and it will be variable toll to regulate the time, so we can guarantee a 20 to 30 minute wait time.
And I presume this is a strategy that was in our previous RTPs, or at least a strategy that we've been dealing with for some time, using some way to do some cost recovery, as well as help manage these entry points so that we don't have a mass of cars going or trucks going through at one time.
Well, if you're charging a toll and you don't provide reliability at the border, then people will just this border crossing will get bogged down like all the other ones. By managing the congestion at this one, we can reduce peak wait times at the other border crossings by up to 50%, and therefore reducing emissions. Also, some of the strategies that we're looking to reduce more emissions is multiple plans like appointment services for cargo. Instead of them being idling, they could make an appointment. Another plan that we have will be also preferred lanes for low emission trucks.
Great. So I'm glad you explained that so well, because I do want to bring up the issue of how we can manage congestion better. And in this case, it's border crossing congestion through some kind of a managed system that fees are involved. So thank you for that explanation, Mario. I want to make just one last comment. I will be voting for this motion. However, I do want to bring up the fact and the comments that were made earlier. We really need to think outside of the box. We have the ability to do something better. And as I've mentioned before, crossing at the border with the expansion of our current or past systems of vehicles and trucks is not efficient. It's not good. It's polluting our communities. It's polluting my community in La Mesa as those trucks go through on our highways, freeway systems. So let's think outside of the box. And rail is much more efficient. It's actually more secure as a border crossing as well. So if we want border security, efficiency, and reducing pollution, we've got to think beyond what we've done in the past and put our planning folks in our cross-border negotiations with Mexico to think about getting away from trucks. And I'm also going to advocate that at all the crossings, border crossings, we work with the federal government in advancing and promoting vehicles that pollute less. In other words, if we are going to charge a fee, maybe we can charge a lesser fee for those who are crossing on all electric vehicles and trucks, which will be coming in the near future. That's how we need to think in the future, and using the best tools we can to improve our environment. So thank you very much.
Chair, just to add, and I know that we're pressed for time, but I think it's important. The tolling structure is going to be set up by this board of directors, and you will have that possibility of providing discounts to low emission vehicles, as well as the appointment services that we're looking to see if they're feasible. And finally, this board of entry was clear environmentally to be multimodal, even so we're phasing it slowly. Like I mentioned, we do have space and it's clear environmentally for a transit station, and we're connecting it with the county bike system, lane system that it's planned.
Thank you, Mario.
So hopefully what that means is that it's designed with bike lanes in right now. So when it's being built, someone can ride their bike to work or something.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to call on the people whose hands are up, but let's be really aware that we have 30 minutes until this meeting ends. And I really want to get to the Del Mar Bluffs item. We've already pushed that once, and there's a meeting on the 20th that's relevant to this issue with the North County Transit District. So if my board members could keep their comments brief, that would be really helpful. Mayor Hall.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to echo what Mayor Gloria said on this project. This project is just unbelievable in what we're doing. And it doesn't go unnoticed that these are new roads. This is new intersections. It's the infrastructure we need to get goods movement across the border in a timely manner. That benefits all of us. It was brought up that more freight needs to go by boat. Well, right now, it's the port in Mexico and the San Diego port are highly restricted because of the capacity issues. And it doesn't go unnoticed that the tonnage coming into these ports between now and 2050 goes up by 300%. 300%. And the rail capacity just isn't there, nor will it be, to move that freight. So whether whether we like it or not, it is going to go by truck. And so we are taking the bottleneck out of this area in a, I feel, a very positive way. I wish it would also be noticed that in North County, which some of these vehicles will travel, in fact, quite a few, we have right now a 5 to an 8 mile parking lot on I-5 for a large amount of time, even including weekends. So even though we might not want to do some of this infrastructure, if you really want to make your greenhouse gas emissions, certain infrastructure has to be in place, or we just won't have the capacity not only to move people, and that's people coming from the north, passing through to get to the south, plus the tonnage. So I am excited about this project. It's way overdue, and I can strongly support it.
Thank you. Supervisor Lawson-Remer.
Unmute. Yeah, no, first of all, I just really want to acknowledge the work that my colleague on the Board of Supervisors, Vice Chair Vargas, has done to elevate the border discussion and the binational nature of our region. The East Otay port of entry is really essential to facilitating travel and commerce between the US and Mexico and easing some of the pressure that is built at San Ysidro. And I'd also at the same time like to emphasize the need to extend the planned Purple Line from San Ysidro to East Otay. That is really key to our sustainability and GHG reduction goals. And I'd very much like to see that extension in the forthcoming CMCP. So thank you all, thank you staff, and just happy to be supportive.
Okay, Mayor Gasterlin, you're gonna finish it off here before we get to the Del Mar Bluffs.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to be really quick. So I'm in full support of this. This is an exciting development. It's going to be very important for freight travel in our area. I also support a different name for a different reason than Mayor Blakespear. I do want to be complete. Enrico Fermi did his work mostly in New Mexico and in Chicago. He was a mathematical physicist, and he spent the last 10 years of his life advocating directly to President Truman against the H-bomb development. You know, his career was varied and long. So I just wanted to make sure we didn't disparage him, but rather went for the right name for this crossing.
Okay, thank you. Hassan.
Thank you, and I'll be very brief. Thank you, Mario and Nikki. I just, as I said in the beginning of the meeting, this is a top priority for you. To Mayor Gloria's point, I just want to remind you, we invested already about $600 million, 50% of which came from the federal government, 40% from the state government, and 10% local. That's an ideal situation where local money really go far. But I also want to ask you to please to talk to whoever you need to talk to make sure that the federal government commit funding to operate this facility if we want to finish it by September 2024. I want to thank Mayor Gloria, who early in the morning met with the Homeland Security to talk about this project. Like Mayor Didina mentioned, Ken Salazar, our U.S. ambassador to Mexico, was here, will be coming here the 14th. Our lawyers are working with our counterpart in Mexico to put agreements in place. These coming few months are the most critical few months for this project. And honestly, if we miss this administration in Mexico and in the US, this project is going to be in trouble. So I hope you all use your voices and your support to get our national government to do its part. Thank you, Mario and Nikki.
Okay, thank you. So let's go ahead and vote.
Thank you very much. For the city of Carlsbad, Mayor Hall.
Oh, yes.
The city of Chula Vista is absent. For the city of Coronado, Councilmember Sankey.
1000% yes.
For the county of San Diego, Supervisor Lawson Remer.
Yes.
For the city of Del Mar, Councilmember Gasterland.
Del Mar, yes.
For the city, I'm sorry, the city of El Cajon is absent. For the city of Encinitas, Chair Blakespear.
Yes.
The city of Escondido is absent. For the city of Imperial Beach, Mayor Dedina.
Dedina, yes.
For the city of La Mesa, Councilmember Shu.
Mesa, yes.
For the city of Lemon Grove, Mayor Vasquez.
Mayor Vasquez, yes.
For the city of National City, Second Vice Chair Sotelo Solis.
Sotelo Solis, aye.
For the city of Oceanside, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yes.
For the city of Poway, Mayor Voss. I'm going to come back to the city of Poway. For the city of San Diego, Vice Chair Gloria.
Aye.
For the city of San Marcos, Mayor Jones.
Jones, yes.
For the city of Santee, Councilmember Koval.
Aye.
For the city of Solana Beach, Mayor Hebner.
Hebner, yes.
And for the city of Vista, Mayor Ritter.
Ritter, yes.
Thank you very much. And I believe the city of Poway is absent. Yes, the city of Poway is absent, so that motion does pass with those members present.
Okay, thank you. So the next report is on, or the next item is a report on the update of the Del Mar Bluffs project. So Ali DeVoe is here to provide the status of the emergency repairs and engineering. And if you're a member of the public who's wishing to speak, please raise your hand during the presentation. Go ahead, Ali.
Thank you, Chair Blakespear, and good morning, everyone. My name is Ali DeVoe. I'm a senior engineer and project manager for the Del Mar Bluff stabilization efforts. Today, I'll be providing an update on the project, starting with a brief update on the construction of emergency repairs and moving into an update on design of phase 5 of the stabilization efforts. Next slide, please. So in general, the Del Mar Bluffs project area encompasses the 1.6 mile stretch of the low sand corridor that runs atop the coastal bluff in the city of Del Mar between Coast Boulevard and the Torrey Pines overhead bridge. The emergency repair that we're going to discuss now is just located just south of 4th Street and circled in red on this graphic. Next slide. So in February of this year, a 1900s-era seawall that was undermined by wave action resulted in the collapse of the seawall and the fill slope behind it. The photo on the left shows the erosion of the foundation that we saw over time. This was taken 2 days before the photo on the right, which is just after the collapse. Next slide. So to date, construction crews have been working on the repairs since March, and the majority of the stabilization work, including installation of the bluff top soldier piles, construction of the soil buttress, subsurface drainage installation, seawall installation, and support of an adjacent seawall at Anderson Canyon have all been completed. Currently, they are working on construction of the storm drain and surface drain installation. They'll be working on that throughout this month, and then they will start the process of revegetating the slope, which we anticipate could take up to 18 months to 2 years, depending on conditions out there, but the slope will be vegetated with native plantings and hydroseeded and temporarily irrigated to ensure we have adequate growth. Next slide. So now I'll move on to an update on the next phase of work, Del Mar Bluff Stabilization Phase 5. This encompasses the same 1.6 mile stretch between Coast Boulevard and the Torrey Pines overhead bridge. And the purpose of this project is to protect the track bed from ongoing erosion and maintain a stable track bed while the long-term plan of relocating the track is implemented. Our design approach focused on 3 main components: measuring and reevaluating bluff retreat or erosion over the past 25 years, determining the global slope stability, both static and seismic, and reviewing the capacity of all existing drainage systems. Next slide. So to ensure the stability of the track bed and plan for this anticipated erosion, the design team has developed a comprehensive stabilization plan, including bluff top work, as well as work at the bottom of the bluff to combat wave action and sea level rise. The plan comprises of a combination of stabilization improvements that focus on the areas of greatest vulnerability from both bluff top and bluff toe erosion, as well as seismic activity. This plan view of the project area provides a high-level overview of the proposed stabilization improvements, starting with the retrofit areas, which are shown in yellow. These are areas where we need to install additional features to protect the soldier piles that were put in previous projects and improve the factors of safety. These features include a combination of grade beams, which are small concrete beams between the top of the soldier piles that won't be visible, seawalls, and some grading behind these seawalls in areas where it's necessary. It's important to note that the piles installed in Del Mar Bluffs 2 and 3 in these areas were designed for a 20-year service life about 20 years ago, and they're shorter, and we need to protect these for potential exposure and undermining. In blue and light blue, we have the new stabilization areas. These are locations where new soldier piles are needed to protect the track bed and provide adequate factors of safety against sliding and seismic activities. And another key element of this plan are the seawalls, which are necessary to protect the toe of the slope. As the toe is eaten away by wave action, the slope becomes oversteepened and is a greater risk for an erosion event. Seawalls help slow this process down and protect the existing piles from exposure and undermining. The existing seawalls are shown in brown, and the proposed extension of the existing seawalls are shown in dark blue. Next slide. So throughout the project area, individual stabilization areas have been prioritized and ranked as high, medium, and low based on various design parameters and risk of erosion. This graphic demonstrates the ranking system throughout the more northern segment of the project area, with new and retrofit stabilization areas shown in red, orange, and yellow to represent the priority ranking. Additionally, areas where we are proposing to extend the seawalls in conjunction with the bluff top improvements are shown in blue. And there are also some upper bluff walls along the east side of the track shown in purple that work in conjunction with the proposed drainage improvements. It's a combination of a small integral wall in the drainage channel itself, transitioning to some rockscape slopes adjacent to the channel to prevent that material from eroding and clogging up the drainage ditches. Next slide. So these next few slides include visual simulations to help clarify the scope of the project and provide some views from the average beachgoer's vantage point. Starting at 13th Street, we'll move north to south through the project area. So at 13th Street currently, we have a seawall protecting a portion of the toe of the slope and also soldier piles installed in previous stabilization projects that are not visible because they're buried adjacent to the track bed. Again, these are shorter soldier piles installed in the early 2000s, and improvements in this area are needed to protect them and also improve the seismic factor of safety. Next slide. So the proposed solution in this area includes extending the seawall, partially filling at a 2-to-1 slope behind that seawall up to where it hits the natural bluff, and vegetating this slope. There'll also be a grade beam that's unexposed that I mentioned earlier, and this solution leaves the natural features in place as much as possible while stabilizing the track bed and the bluff toe. Next slide. So this next area from 11th Street to Shippey Lane, it poses a unique challenge due to the berm of material west of the tracks, which has shown active erosion in recent years. We previously considered a different alternative, which included removing this berm, which is overburdening the slip plane and lowering the factor of safety. And although this removal of the berm would increase the factor of safety, it does not increase it enough to meet our design criteria for static and seismic. And therefore, our proposed solution in this area is now to install soldier piles in the highest priority portions of this segment, which is about 1,000 feet long. This provides a higher factor of safety for the track bed and avoids potential visual impacts by removing that overburdened material, and allows the natural erosion process of that berm to continue. Next slide. So next, moving south, the existing condition from 7th to 8th Street is very similar to the 13th Street area. It includes a small seawall and soldier piles protecting the track bed. This is particularly an area of concern because this is where a freight train went off the bluffs in 1940 after a large winter rainstorm caused extensive erosion. Again, this is an area where we're dealing with those shorter soldier piles, and improvements are needed to protect them. And we also need to improve the seismic factor of safety in this area. Next slide. So our proposed solution includes extending the seawall, again, partially filling at a 2-to-1 slope behind that seawall and then vegetating that slope. Also, there will be a grade beam between the piles. And again, this solution leaves the natural features in place as much as possible while still achieving our adequate factors of safety. Next slide. Further south, we have the Anderson Canyon area, which is just south of the current emergency repair. Here we have an existing seawall supporting a fill slope, which you can see in the foreground of the picture, and existing soldier piles in some of these areas. Next slide. Here we propose extending the seawall between the existing structure and the current emergency repair seawall that was just constructed, again, to protect the toe of the slope and the older soldier piles. There'll also be new soldier piles, which will not be visible, installed adjacent to the track to improve the seismic factors of safety. Next slide. Another critical component of the stabilization efforts is to improve the drainage and control the storm and groundwater in the project area. The photo on the slide demonstrates that critical need for drainage improvements, as it's where water eroded the track in 2019, resulting in an emergency repair farther north in the project area. As a part of this project, a drainage study was undertaken, and it reevaluated the capacity and determined the needs for new drainage improvements. Next slide. So this slide shows an overview of the drainage improvements in the northern sector of the project. There are significant improvements throughout the project area, including new concrete ditches with localized retaining walls to protect and support those ditches, new under drains to capture subsurface water, improved inlets, new storm drains and outlets to the beach, and removal of a drainage chute at 12th Street, which is currently in poor condition. Next slide. So here's an overview of our project schedule. We have completed our 60% design milestone and are moving towards 90% design. We are working with the Coastal Commission to finalize our coastal consistency certification submittal. And we do plan on holding a public workshop early this year at some point. We expect final design to be completed this year and be ready to advertise in late summer, early fall. And construction will start up in early 2023 and last a couple of years. Next slide. So here we just have an overview of coordination and progress that's ongoing. So we are currently, again, working with the Coastal Commission staff to complete our federal coastal consistency submittal. And we've been working with the city of Del Mar to respond to their questions and concerns. We've been progressing the design, and our most recent progressions have reduced the impacts to the natural bluff features by limiting bluff grading and proposing to install piles in that trench area from 11th Street to Shippey Lane in lieu of removing that overburdening material. And the project team's comprehensive approach stabilizes the train tracks on the bluff and provides time to plan and build the tunnel and the long-term alternative. Next slide. And that concludes my presentation today. We'll now open it up for questions and comments.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to the public comments or any board comments, can Sandag please state its position on the fence? Because we receive a lot of emails that are largely talking about the fence, and I noticed that that wasn't part of this at all.
Yeah, Chair Blakespear, if I may, and make it very clear, we have never been involved in the fence discussion. Nor do we want to be part of this, and there's liability issues, etc. And I had the pleasure of talking to Councilmember Castron yesterday, but I did receive a letter from the Coastal Commission, a letter that everybody saw before myself, but I finally saw it. The Coastal Commission asking Sandag to couple the fence discussion with the stabilization that Ali just went over. I have not responded to this letter because I think when I allow the city of Del Mar and specifically Councilmember Terry Castron to work with North County Transit, but we have not been involved in the fence. We never intended to be involved in the fence discussion, and we will respond to the letter that we got in time. That's really all I have for you. And there were reports and media about Sandag and the fence. We have, to my knowledge, neither did Jim Lithicum when he was the capital program director, or any of our staff were part of these discussion on the fence.
Okay, thank you. I see the NCTD chair here, so I just want to make sure he has a chance to say anything if he wanted to, Councilmember Kranz.
Thank you. Yes, I would prefer to proceed with board member comments and public comments, and then perhaps I can follow up at that time.
Okay, sounds good. So before we go to board comments, let's go to the public comments.
Thank you, Chair. We have one hand up from the public. Tim Bylish, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you for attending to this. I am in Del Mar, which is small, but the cliffs currently threaten the state and national rail system. It was scary to see the cliffs fall to within 2 feet of the rail track in the area from the last slide. and to also see the continued increasing hydrostatic damage being done by water saturation, increasing by another slide that was nearby on Jimmy Durante. I might suggest if you can tie this necessary repair as a visualization of the climate emergencies, both in the cost and damage it is, that might be useful to help with public awareness. We tend to wait and repair in emergency instead of planning ahead. As a scientist who tries to pay attention, I would also support tying this to the retracking proposals, both for environmental and safety reasons, and to offer the idea to consider making a park space with a nature center on the corner by Jimmy Durante for the repurposing of the land that will happen most likely from the retracking adjoining the current tracks. Thank you for presenting this, for your work on this, for your urgent attention to it. And again, thanks to the board and all the city and other partners that are working on this.
Chair, that concludes the public comments.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to call on Councilmember Gasterlund first. You're muted.
Sorry, I have a new mouse. Thank you very much, Chair. I'd like to amplify on what our executive director of SANDAG said. It is the case that SANDAG has not been involved in the fencing. Last week, the Coastal Commission sent a letter to SANDAG expressing concern that NCTD's $1 million fencing project and SANDAG's $100 million bluff stabilization project are happening simultaneously without coordination. Two major projects are underway with no coordination and no assessment of their cumulative impacts on the Del Mar Bluff. So what are the critical questions to be answered? Will the NCTD fencing destabilize the Del Mar Bluff through water intrusion and increased erosion? How much? How can the destabilization be avoided? And what are the cumulative impacts of the NCTD and SANDAG projects on the Del Mar Bluff? A cumulative impact analysis must be done to alleviate the concerns stated in the Coastal Commission's letter. No geotechnical study has been done to answer these critical questions. So what has been done? NCTD obtained a brief written opinion on fencing from Layton Consultants. After review, our city determined that another assessment was needed. Atlas Technical Consultants provided an independent analysis of the NCTD geotechnical opinion, and they found 12 deficiencies. And they can be summarized in a sentence. Atlas stated, the sensitive segments of the bluff could be affected by drilling a large number of piers, creating a weakened plane. They observed that NCTD's Layton opinion had no analysis of bluff top stability and no analysis of the potential that fencing will surcharge the bluff and reduce the factor of safety for bluff stability. So the bottom line is that the NCTD fencing is likely to be counterproductive to the goals of SANDAG's bluff stabilization. Del Mar is very concerned about this, and clearly SANDAG needs to understand the destabilization of the Del Mar Bluff to the degree that it will be introduced by NCTD fencing. If SANDAG can take the lead on an environmental geotechnical assessment of this impact, that will go a long way toward making sure the bluff stays safe, sound, and as natural as possible. So I'll restate it. SANDAG can step in and ask for a cumulative impact analysis. It must be done to alleviate the Coastal Commission's concerns. So I ask for this board's support in making sure this gets done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Hall.
Yes, I strongly support today's recommendation, but I would like to make a few comments about the future if I could. In a recent NCTD board meeting, it was noteworthy that between now and 2048, there's almost a $388 million shortfall in operations. To put that in perspective, when you think of MTS, between now and 2048, they're going to have operational shortfall of $936 million. And so when we come back to the rail corridor here along the coast, to me, I really don't understand the cost benefit when we're looking to spend billions of dollars on this rail corridor. And I say that for many different reasons. One is Oceanside is the only city that has really built the density or the intensification to make it work. The other cities to the south, simply in our land use, we're not willing to put the density in and around the rail corridor to make this a viable, and we shouldn't kid ourselves on that. I mean, that's just simply the fact. It's also noteworthy that the ridership between now and 1996, 1 year after the rail corridor opened, is about the same number, So as we look to the future in the different modes of transportation that are coming in the future, I think we need to set back and really look at data and really have a clear understanding of what this is going to be about, and to see the cost benefit of where we're going with this. So, but I do support today's motion. I do think the bluffs need to be fortified, and I do think we need to sit down and think this really through clearly and have a clear business plan as to how this will work efficiently.
Okay, thank you. Well, and just to be clear, this is an information item, so there's not a motion, but I understand what you're referring to. Mayor Huebner.
Yeah, thanks very much. And I was the one who asked to have this put on the agenda because we are receiving so many emails, and also there's conflicting information going back and forth. And I think a few of the things that Councilmember Gasterlin said are worth noting, and that is that the fencing, or I guess it's a question, has the fencing been evaluated in light of the stability projects? I did learn that Layton has also worked with Sandag, and so is aware of the instability of the bluffs. And I'd just like to know from Sandag's staff, number one, has that been evaluated clearly with the extent of the fencing? And number two, this seems to happen a little more often than I'd like to see, and that is that Sandag's got part of a project and NCTD is another part of a project. And when do they come together, and shouldn't they come together and work together on some of these things? So we have a comprehensive picture of all of this.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. And Ali, jump in here if I say something incorrectly. As you know, and in my tenure, I made the Lausanne stabilization the big part of the priority, and we were successful in getting $100 million. I want to thank our leaders in the state, specifically Senator Atkins and Congressman Levin and others, for helping us get funding to this. So we made it a priority. We have not considered, we have, as I said in the beginning of the meeting, we have never been involved, nor I think should we be involved in the fencing. I don't think the fencing, and correct me, Ali, you're the engineer if I'm wrong, I don't think the fencing will impact the way we're going about designing the stabilization. I hope that answers your question, Mayor Huebner.
Well, that is the question, will it? And that's all I need to know.
No, I don't think so, but Ali, if you think otherwise, please come in and you can disagree with me anytime.
No, you're correct. It does not impact our stabilization plans as they're focusing on much larger geotechnical issues or water infiltration issues or stability issues. And it's primarily about protecting the track bed. So it would not change our approach in protecting the track bed.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Lawson Reamer.
Hi, so first of all, I just really want to thank leadership from Mayor Gasterlin in sort of, and trying to put this on everyone's radar. It's obviously a really important issue. And I'm very much looking forward to better integrating all of these efforts in terms of the various strands in our approach to the Del Mar Bluff issue. Not just the stabilization and the rail realignment and the tunneling, the fencing, but also potentially the 7th Street overpass and beach access, so that we can really have an incredible coastal trail and public amenity here in Del Mar. I think I just want to make sure, to me, I feel like it's not clear to me exactly whether were able to be responsive to Mayor Gasterland's request. I hear, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor Gasterland, I hear you requesting that Sandag get more involved by doing some kind of environmental impact assessment. And I'm hearing Hassan say that it's really not our purview. And in fact, that these pieces, that the work that we're doing on bluff stabilization will not be impacted by the fence. So I guess I'm just hearing two different things. I don't know if I am following it completely, but I wanted to sort of get clarity from Mayor Gasterland on what she wanted to see moving forward. So we could see how it could be supportive.
Shall I clarify, Chair?
Yes.
Thank you. It's clear. So I understand exactly what Ali has said. The bluff stabilization project has been planned in situ as the bluff is now. However, at the same time, there's this 1.5 mile long on the same 1.6 miles fencing project with many, many fencing post holes that will go in. And what happens is there's what geotechnical experts have told me is a zipper effect. You put those post holes in, every hole creates an opportunity for water intrusion, which increases bluff erosion and where a slide can happen. And the model that they like to talk about is a paper towel, where you have two paper towels with all these little holes in between them and they rip apart. That's what happens on a bluff when you make a series of holes at the top. So what Del Mar is asking for is a cumulative impacts analysis of the two projects together. And that's missing. It has not been done.
Can I have, thank you so much. Can I ask a follow-up question, Chair Blakespear?
Sure.
So this is, I guess, for Hassan and staff. Whose responsibility would that be? I mean, we're talking about, fencing being done by NCTD and a massive project that we're looking at doing over the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And we're talking about, an impact study that would look at both of these. So I sort of have two questions. One, whose responsibility theoretically would that be? And secondly, how long would it take to do something like that?
Thank you, Supervisor. First of all, the responsibility definitely with NCTD, because they're taking the liability if somebody gets hit by a train. If somebody else want to take the liability, if Sandag want to take the liability, it becomes a different issue. But it is the responsibility of NCTD to make sure that whatever mechanism they have, fencing or otherwise. Our responsibilities as Sandag are very clear from the get-go. I was directed very strongly, stabilize this corridor, because in my short 10 years here, 3 times we had to slow the trains down or stop them for a few hours in one case, and I believe this corridor critical cannot do that. Our responsibility is to stabilize, and by the way, stabilization, and Ali would agree, this is not a permanent solution. Stabilization is just that. It's stabilizing until we figure out what to do moving forward. Stabilization that we did many decades ago worked and kept things moving. But I believe it's not our responsibility to take the liability for the train operation. That's our transit agency. And therefore, we have not gotten involved in the fencing discussion at all. We're relying on NCTD and the city of Del Mar to work this out between them. And I repeat, from an engineering standpoint, fencing will have no impact on the stabilization project or the design. Now, I appreciate Mayor Castron, her desire to have a comprehensive look, and if somebody had the time and the money to do that, I think fine. But remember, we received grants that have expiration dates, and we want to move as quickly as possible to stabilize the bluff. And at the same time, we just are completing a $3 million study to look at alternatives in moving that track of, and that is an expensive endeavor, but I think it's a needed one. So as to our responsibility, we're responsible for stabilizing the bluff and make sure the services don't get interrupted. As to the fence, it is with NCTD. What the Coastal Commission is asking us is to combine these two discussions. At this stage, I think, given where we are, again, I haven't responded to the letter. I will, and I will let you know our response in the future. But we haven't been involved in the fencing. We really don't have a desire to get involved in the fencing. But that's where it stands right now.
Chair, can I add one comment, please?
Yeah, and then we'll go to NCTD. So go ahead.
Ali came and gave the presentation at our city council meeting. We were able to really look at it and take some time and think it through. And, I thank you, Ali DeVoe, for your insight and your expertise. It's been a pleasure working with you, I have to say. There are places, and we noticed this in the city council meeting, Ali knows it as well as I do. There are places where there's retaining walls in exactly the same place where fencing is planned. So for example, at Seagrove Park, there's a 6-foot tall chain link fence at the track level, which in fact, Del Mar has agrees. That's where all the incidents are happening. Fencing in that area is important. But the fencing is laid out exactly where critical retaining walls east of the tracks underneath Seagrove Park need to be built. So these kinds of conflicts in design in this same 1.5 mile stretch exist, and nobody is looking at
it. Okay, thank you. Councilmember Krantz.
Yes, thank you. Let me start by saying that what you just heard there, that nobody's looking at these issues, is flat wrong. The reality is that this project relating to trespassing and safety has been subject to discussion between North County Transit District and the City of Del Mar for approximately 25 years. And it has been a long and arduous process. And most recently resulted in NCTD taking a step back from actions that we filed with the Surface Transportation Board to form a working group with the Coastal Commission of the City of Del Mar and NCTD to explore issues related to mitigating the impacts of a fence and to allow for residents and visitors of Del Mar to continue to use the upper bluffs and other areas of NCTD's right-of-way. But the big question, of course, as Hassan alluded to earlier, is the issue of liability. So that remains unresolved at this point. And the issue of liability is real. In April, there will be a trial on the matter of the death of an individual in Del Mar. And during the plaintiff's actions to sue NCTD, BNSF, and the City of Del Mar, the City of Del Mar argued they had no responsibility for this and they wanted out of the lawsuit, and a judge granted them that ability to get out of the lawsuit. So this is a very complex issue that has been ongoing and will continue quite certainly. It was noted that this is a presentation on bluff stabilization. Bluff stabilization is absolutely critical. And it is something that we have been working on now for 3 years with great vigor because the collapses were happening more frequently. And so I appreciate Sandag's efforts in this and the cooperation of Del Mar and NCT's goal of stabilizing these bluffs for continued safe operations is really important. But we cannot emphasize enough how important it is to advance the conversation about moving the rail corridor off the bluffs. And, the critical nature of this particular corridor is, pretty clear. And it isn't simply a commuter rail line. It is an intercity rail line and a very critical freight rail line. And so you can point to the statistics about ridership with regard to the coaster until the cows come home. But the reality is that that rail corridor is a critical piece of national infrastructure. It is the strategic corridor for the military. And so we have to get serious about moving the rails off the coast. And that's not just in Del Mar. There are going to be challenges in the future for cities up and down the coast, starting from about San Clemente south. And so, you know, the Band-Aid that we're putting on Del Mar with a tunnel, eventually we're going to have to deal with this issue in Encinitas as well, where the rail corridor is adjacent to Highway 101, which is adjacent to 200-foot Bluffs. So we've got to get pretty serious about this. I do want to say that for the benefit of everybody here, I'd like to do a screen share. NCTD has put together a website, and I'll have Francesca send a link to this to everyone. It's got a lot of information here about the history of this, including the historical documents that deal with agenda packets and the many conversations that have taken place. And it goes through a number of questions related to the fence, Surface Transportation Board. It addresses, this website addresses as many of the questions as possible that have been raised in the emails that most of us have been getting. And in this area right here, relating to the stability of the bluffs, there is a report that people can read about the impacts of putting the posts in, and an engineer has addressed it. If Del Mar has a report that counters this engineer's assessment, then we're happy to see that and would engage on that particular question. But I think it's really important to note that a lot has gone into this, and it isn't easy to serve as an elected representative and have to do something as unpopular as putting in fencing along this rail corridor. But we operate a Class 1 railroad, and we have obligations under federal law, we have obligations under state law, and we have obligations to our train operators that they not have to operate a train in an unsafe environment. So these are the challenges that we face as board members. We have a critical decision coming up next week, and I appreciate all the engagement and certainly understand the efforts of the City Council in Del Mar. But ultimately, this is a really important decision that we put a lot of time and effort into making the right decision. So the CEO of NCTD, Matt Tucker, is available to anyone who would like to have one-on-one conversations about the issues that have gone into this. And so do not hesitate to reach out to him.
Well, thank you, Councilmember Kranz, for providing NCTD's perspective. We really appreciate hearing that here at Sandag. So thank you. Councilmember Shu.
Thank you. I know we're over time, so I'll make my comments real brief. I don't like fences, and I don't think Sandag should weigh into the fence issue, as Hassan has alluded to. So in my previous life, I have had experience with erosion control issues and fences. I don't like fences, but in the end, fences actually reduce erosion from human traffic. So I think the notion that fence posts are going to cause erosion is really not correct. The net effect is that we can reduce erosion with this fence, even though, you know, I want to be neutral on the fence issue personally. But really, my experience is fences reduce erosion, not increase erosion. And lastly, you know, in La Mesa and many of our cities, we have major transportation corridors in these freeways, and we have to live with the fences and the blockage of us trying to get from one side to each city to the other city because of that, or to some other attraction. It's unfortunate that we have this. We need a better system of transportation in this area. I hope we will use this lesson to move on better transportation systems that are in the regional transportation plan to avoid these kinds of problems and emergencies in the future, and additional discomfort to our communities and inconveniences as we go forward. You know, if the city of Del Mar and its citizens want to take on the liability, maybe they should offer that to the NTC for any other damage or deaths and injury that may occur if they don't build the fence. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Shu. Okay, so Councilmember Gasterlin, you can finish it off, and then we'll move on. And I think this will be our last item. We'll need to kick the next item to a future agenda. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the healthy discussion. I respectfully disagree with Councilmember Shu. I've reviewed this with 2 geotechnical experts, and the city of Del Mar contracted an opinion from Atlas. And the Atlas opinion was of the NCTD letter from Layton. There is study that remains to be done, has not been done, and needs to be done. Cumulative impacts. And respectfully, Councilmember Krantz, it has not been done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the conversation and the report, everybody. So we will move on from this item, and then we're going to push the next item. But I think if we do have member comments or public comments that are left over, we need to take those. So Francesca, do we have any public comments?
Yes, Chair. In the at the beginning of the agenda with the non-agenda public comments, Gretchen Newsom and Sean Keone Ellis, you both had your hands up. If you're still with us in the meeting and you'd like to speak, you can have that opportunity now. I'm going to give them just a minute and see if they're still on the line. It looks like they might have both left the meeting, but I'm happy to reach out to them. I have their contact information and I'll provide their comments to you if they'd still like to make them.
Okay, that sounds great. And then do we have any board member comments? Are we looking for any hands up? I don't see any. Okay, so our meeting is adjourned and our next meeting is virtual. It's scheduled for Friday, January 28th at 9 a.m. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.